What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 7 CU Chapter 101 What, will the group leader come? Guo Jing. Everyone, I have successfully persuaded myself in the world of Xiao Longnu to sponsor her. Guo Jing. With the help of me over there and my wife over there, Xiao Longnu will definitely be able to overthrow the imperial court faster than me. Xiao Longnu. Well, I have to thank brother Guo Jing for his help. Butterfly Ninja. That's great, little dragon girl, you can finally get the god level breathing technique. Garp. Yes, among our group, only Xiao Longnu has not obtained the god level breathing method. Young master. I said Mr. Garp, don't forget me. I haven't obtained the god level breathing method yet, helpless. Garp. But you're not particularly keen on the god level breathing method. It doesn't matter to you whether you get the god level breathing method or not. Little master. But I suddenly realized before that the god level breathing method is still needed, even if it is to gain the power of self-protection. Little master. And when my strength becomes stronger, I can live longer. Maybe one day I can obtain the complete version of god level cooking skills. The young master is really not too keen on the god level breathing method, because there is no such thing as fighting in his world. His world is told through cooking, so at first, he didn't want to obtain the god level breathing method. But then he woke up and obtained the god level breathing method to improve his strength and life insurance. By then, he might be able to acquire complete god-level cooking skills. The god-level cooking skills he currently masters are only the weakest, and there are many versions of them. I don't know how long it will take for the group owner to upload all versions. If it takes decades or even hundreds of years, he will be too exhausted to master the more advanced, 627, skills of god-level cooking. What a pity. And even during his lifetime, the group leader uploaded the complete version of god-level cooking skills. But the points required are definitely an astronomical sum. He worried that he wouldn't be able to get it all together before he died. Therefore, god-level breathing methods are not necessary. Even if it is to extend his life, waiting for the full version of god-level cooking skills to appear will give him more time to earn points. The Dragon Ball world is different from the fantasy world of immortality. It will not become stronger and stronger due to cultivation, and its lifespan will also become stronger and stronger. Unless it's the gods of destruction, angel and gods above. Otherwise, even a god like Supreme Kai has a lifespan limit. Therefore, no matter how powerful Son Goku and the others are, their lifespan is the ordinary Saiyan lifespan, which is not much longer than that of people on Earth. But the god-level breathing method is different. After practicing the god-level breathing method, your lifespan will also increase as your strength increases. After all, every time you breathe, your strength will improve, and your physical condition will also increase. In other words, people who practice god-level breathing techniques are surpassing their previous peak every minute and every second, whether in terms of strength or physical condition. Naturally, their lives will also be improved. Even the complete version of the god-level breathing method can make people live forever. Guo Jing. By the way, Mr. Group Leader, there is something I want to ask you. Subai. Oh, what is it? Guo Jing. I previously invited Xiao Longnu and me from her world. When I take action against the imperial court, let them come and watch. This will also give them experience. Guo Jing. So I also hope that you, the group leader, can be invited to come when the time comes. When he revealed his plan, Guo Jing felt very nervous. Because he was worried that the group leader would reject him. After all, the group leader is a god, there must be a lot to do. It is also very normal to reject yourself. The main reason why he invited the group leader was to let the people in the world know their real god had helped them. Later, when he took action against the imperial court, he had already found a reason to do so. This reason will definitely make the people support them very much. If only the group leader could come and let the people all over the world know that a real god has helped them. Then they will definitely be very grateful to the group leader, and may even believe in the group leader. When the time comes, they will also spontaneously build temples and statues for the group leader, just like they did for the gods in mythology and the heroes of the past. It is even possible that the people will no longer believe in other gods, but only believe in the leader. He wanted the people all over the world to know that it was not just him and his men who could overthrow the decadent and mediocre royal family of Zhao and Song. The most important thing is because of the help of the group leader. But the premise of all this is that the group leader will agree to his invitation. If he doesn't agree, then he will have to spend a lot of effort to spread the greatness of the group leader. Subai. In 3 days, right? I happen to have nothing to do recently, so I can go join in the fun. Subai agreed to Guo Jing's invitation without any hesitation. Anyway, he didn't have much to do during this period. It would be interesting to go to Guo Jing's world and witness the end of a dynasty. Just treat it as passing time. Guo Jing. Thank you, Lord Group Leader. Seeing that Subai agreed, Guo Jing was also very excited. The group leader agreed to his invitation and will come to his world. This is his honor, but don't neglect it, therefore, he quickly told the master on the side to get ready. What? The leader of the gods will also come over later. Hearing what his apprentice said, Hong Qigang was also very shocked. At the same time, he became nervous. You must know that the other party is a real god. Is it possible that you can also see the real god? Well, the group leader just promised me. So master, we must not neglect the group leader when the time comes. Of course we can't neglect God. Hong Qigong nodded very carefully. The leader of the gods is coming to their world. This is a big event. Even more important than overthrowing the imperial court. They must not be negligent in the slightest. Later, Guo Jing and Hong Qigong summoned everyone else. At this time, many people have recovered, although what happened before shocked them greatly. But they have thought about it now. Those people all found their own way to die, and they deserved to die. It's not worth it to feel sad for them. As for the bloody scenes in which those people committed suicide in front of them one by one, the shadow in their hearts has weakened a lot. They also knew that they would soon face the court. You may see even more bloody and tragic scenes by then. If they can't adapt quickly and hinder Alliance leader Guo, they will really deserve death. Seeing that most of the people below had recovered, Guo Jing was also very satisfied. He gave the other party 3 days, and now a day has not passed, and most of the people have recovered. The recovery speed is still very fast. As for the few remaining people who have not yet recovered, he believed that he would recover in the remaining time. In short, before taking action against the court, everyone will recover and treat the people of the court with the fullest attitude. At this time, the people below looked at Guo Jing, very curious, wondering what the alliance leader wanted to do by calling them together. Is it possible that we want to do the same thing again? If this is the case, then they are not worried. After all, they have already passed the test once and there will be no problem if they pass it again. But that's probably not the case. After all, not even 1 day has passed since the last time the incident happened. It is impossible for Alliance leader Guo to come for the second time so soon. But if they don't want to play another song for them, then what's the point of Alliance leader Guo summoning them? Everyone, you must be curious as to why I want to summon you again. You should have heard that I received help from a god, so I have the ability to save you, and it also allows you to gain great strength. What I want to tell you now is that when we attack the imperial court in 3 days, the god will also come. Guo Jing's words immediately caused an uproar among the people below. Their leader Guo was said to have received help from a god, and they all knew about it. And they also have no doubt about this matter. On the one hand, it is because they have faith in gods and believe that gods really exist in the world. On the other hand, they have also personally experienced miracles. Leader Guo taught them the god-level breathing method, and also made dishes for them that would make them stronger if they ate them. This is the real deal. After feeling the magic of these, they also firmly believed that there was really a god standing behind Alliance leader Guo. This is also a very important reason why they follow Alliance leader Guo so enthusiastically. This is also an important reason why they believe that if they can follow Alliance leader Guo, they will be able to overthrow the current imperial court and establish a new era. Point 0. Not only because they are so powerful, it is not a problem to defeat dozens of soldiers alone. Also because, behind their leader Guo, there is a god. With the existence of gods, wouldn't it be easy to overthrow the royal family? After all, no matter how powerful the emperor is, he is only a mortal. And many emperors in history wanted to become immortals. And behind their leader Guo, there is a real god. And now, their leader Guo actually said that when he takes action against the imperial court, that god will also come. In other words, they also have a chance to see gods. What a glorious thing this is, at this moment, no matter what gods they believed in before. But from this moment on, there is only one belief in their hearts, and that is the god behind Alliance leader Guo. The god must have come to know that they were going to attack the imperial court. It should be to encourage them. This shows how much the Lord God values them. If they don't believe in such gods, what kind of gods can they believe in? Seeing the excited expressions on the faces of the people below, Guo Jing was also very satisfied with their reactions. It will be the best when people all over the world can believe in the leader of the group like this. What I want to tell you is that after the Lord God comes, we must not be negligent in the slightest. Although that Lord God is very easygoing and won't care about this. But it's one thing whether he cares or not. What should we do? It's another story. So in 3 days, you all behave well. You must never collide with that god. Yes, don't worry, Alliance leader Guo, we will definitely not be hasty in front of the Lord God. Fortunately, Alliance leader Guo has eliminated those cancerous tumors before, otherwise they would definitely make Lord God very unhappy. At this moment, the people who had recovered their mentality were very happy. They were lucky that Alliance leader Guo had eliminated those cancers in advance. And those who have not yet recovered have all recovered now. These unrecovered people were originally family members and good friends of those who committed suicide. Therefore, the impact they suffered was much heavier than others, and it was more difficult to recover. But now, they have fully recovered. Even they were very lucky. Fortunately, Alliance leader Guo had dealt with those guys in advance. Otherwise, even if those guys don't collide with God themselves, the gods must also know what they're doing. If the gods are unhappy, then those guys will die 10,000 times. And they will be affected too. Now, everyone is very lucky that the leader can deal with those guys in advance. There is no problem with the rest of the people, and the gods should not be unhappy with them even if they're 0.9. There are even many people who want to pull out those dead guys and whip them into corpses. After all, just because of their existence, they almost made the gods unhappy. If Leader Guo hadn't dealt with those guys in advance, God would come and see those people and find out what those people had done. What will happen? They can't even imagine it. Those damn guys really died well. Even if they can change their ways and turn over a new leaf, the things they did in the past cannot be erased. Although they didn't know what sect the god belonged to, they definitely couldn't be Buddhists. So there is no such thing as putting down the butcher's knife and becoming a Buddha immediately. After knowing what they did in the past, the best result would be to destroy them directly if the gods are unhappy. What if it also affects Kai-Yu and innocent people like them? Then they would be too aggrieved, but fortunately, those damn guys are dead now. Such problems will no longer occur. So during these 3 days, you should have a good rest and look forward to it. Yes, Alliance Leader. Everyone is looking forward to its arrival in 3 days. 3 days later, it was not only time for them to take action against the imperial court, overthrow the current royal family and establish a new era. It is also the time when they can formally meet the gods. Even Hong Qigong was extremely excited and looking forward to it. After all, unlike his apprentice, he has never met the Lord of the Gods. But soon, you can see it in 3 days. Just thinking about it makes me look forward to it. Chapter 102 Butterfly Ninja is a little jealous, and the 3 heroes of armor gather together. 3 days is neither long nor short. If you ask a worker or a student whether 3 days for work or class is long, they will definitely tell you that 3 days is a long time. But if you ask them whether the 3 days of vacation are long, they will definitely answer you that it is short, very short, and it goes by in the blink of an eye. As for Guo Jing, Hong Qigong, those under their command, and even Xiao Longnu and the middle-aged Guo Jing couple, 3 days is a long time. In normal times, 3 days is not a long time for them. But the current situation is different from usual. For Guo Jing and Hong Qigong, in just 3 days, it will not only be the time for them to take action against the imperial court. It was also the time when the group leader came to their world. When they thought of this, they became very excited. They were so excited that they could not wait for 3 days to pass quickly. The same goes for Xiao Longnu and the middle-aged Guo Jing couple. The thought that they could travel to other worlds and witness the end of a dynasty with their own eyes was not something they would always have the opportunity to do. What's more, the white chorus. The middle-aged Guo Jing and his wife were also very excited, nervous and uneasy after learning about this incident from Xiao Longnu. This time they can also meet the Lord of the Gods, which is their honor. But they were also worried that it would be bad if something went wrong and angered the leader of the gods. But no matter what, they still hope that the 3 days will pass quickly. But once you have expectations in your heart, the time will become extremely long. It's like a long holiday, or even the few days before the new year are the most difficult. It is not an exaggeration to say that every day seems like a year. Therefore, Xiao Longnu and Guo Jing could only pass the time by drinking water. Guo Jing. This is the first time I have experienced how long 3 days is. Xiao Longnu. Yes, when I lived in the ancient tomb, I had no concept of time. Xiao Longnu. But now I have realized that 3 days can be such a long time. Subai. This is because you have something to look forward to, so you feel that 3 days is a long time. Subai. But if you use these 3 days to do something you like, or hang out with friends, you will find that 3 days go by very quickly. He also had a deep understanding of the feelings of Guo Jing and Xiao Longnu. Whether it was when he was in school or when he was working later. Weekdays will become very long, while weekends will become very short. It's obviously only 1 day, but the experience is 2 completely different feelings. Especially when there is something special. For example, there will be a long holiday in a few days. For example, the Chinese New Year will be in a few days. For example, you will be able to see your good brothers in a few days, and so on. Then the time will become even longer. But this is the experience of modern people, and now the 2 ancient people, Xiao Longnu and Guo Jing, also experience it. It can only be said that it brings them a little shock from modern times. Diya. By the way, brother Guo Jing, when you take action against the imperial court, can you make a live broadcast for us to see? Diya. Let us also take a look at how a dynasty was overthrown. Garp. Yes, it happens to allow me to learn some experience. When I overthrow the celestial dragons, I can also learn from it. Guo Jing. Okay, no problem. Guo Jing. And it just so happens that Xiao Longnu and the group leader will also come, and you will also be able to see them in the live broadcast. Lu Pijang. I feel it is a pity now that when the group leader came to my world, I didn't start the live broadcast and didn't let you see how the group leader quickly solved the crisis. Subai. It's useless even if you start a live broadcast. I solved the crisis on Earth in the universe, and you didn't even see the specific situation on the spot. Subai. I have to start the live broadcast so you can see it. Lu Pijang. That's right. It's a pity. If the group leader had started a live broadcast at that time, I could have seen how the group leader helped me solve the Earth's crisis. He only knew that the group leader only took a few seconds to bring the Earth to his new home. But he had no idea what happened in those few seconds. If we could see the perspective of the group leader, the scene would definitely be very spectacular. Subai. Actually, there's nothing interesting to see. I just covered the earth with a protective shield, and then took the earth directly to your new home. It's that simple. Lu Pijang. Is it simple? I can only say that you are worthy of being the leader of the group. Diya. Yes, brother Subai is really awesome, Oga Tatsumi. Sailing the universe with the earth, and directly crossing a distance of several light years in a few seconds, only the leader of the group can do it. For modern group members, they can appreciate the huge amount of information contained in Subai's words better than other group members. For the group leader, this is a very simple matter. But for them, it is very simple. Not to mention how fast it was to cross a distance of several light years in just a few seconds. Even the speed of light was like a turtle in front of the speed of the group leader. Just saying that the group leader takes the earth to sail in the universe is already an unimaginable scene for them. After all, although the leader of the group is a god, his body shape is that of a normal human being. It is really unimaginable to imagine a normal human being with a planet as big as the earth sailing through the universe. This is like an ant sailing with a mountain. The first day was spent in the water. Same thing the next day. And the third day. Guo Jing. Great, tomorrow is when I officially take action against the imperial court, and it is also time for the leader of the group to come to my world. These 3 difficult days are finally over. Xiao Longnu. Yes, tomorrow I can see brother Subai in reality again. Butterfly Ninja. I really envy you, Xiao Longnu. Like Diya, you have already met brother Subai twice. Butterfly Ninja. But I have only met brother Subai once. If I had known that I was completing the task before, I would have invited brother Subai over. Butterfly Ren was a little jealous inside. At the party, she met brother Subai with Diya and Xiao Longnu. But she only met brother Subai once, and Diya had already met brother Subai once before. Xiao Longnu is about to see brother Subai for the second time. She is the only one who has only met brother Subai once. Will it affect her status in brother Subai's heart? Diya. It's okay, sister Butterfly Ninja. There will be many opportunities to meet brother Subai in the future. You don't need to be envious, proud. Xiao Longnu. Yes, sister Butterfly Ninja, we only met brother Subai once more than you did, so it's nothing, proud. Although the two of them seemed to be comforting the Butterfly Ninja between the lines, the emoticons behind them immediately betrayed them. They were very proud of the fact that they had seen brother Subai once more than Butterfly Ninja. Lu Pijang. Yes, Butterfly Ninja, you don't need to be envious. Like me, haven't I only met the leader of the group twice? Lu Pijang. It's nothing, after seeing more group leaders in the future, it won't be a big deal if there are more of them once or twice. Because the Earth's crisis has been resolved and he has received funding, Lu Pijang is in a very good mood. A joke was also made. Butterfly Ninja. Ah, brother Lu Pijang. The words of Diya and Xiao Longnu almost made her unable to hold herself together. And Lu Pijang's words were the last straw for Butterfly Ninja. She couldn't hold it any longer. Before, she was competing with Diya and Xiao Longnu. Why is brother Lu Pijang joining in now? What's even more annoying is that brother Lu Pijang also met brother Subai twice. She is so envious. Subai. Okay, please stop teasing Butterfly Ren. Butterfly Ninja. Butterfly Ninja, don't envy them. What's the point of missing me once more? Butterfly Ninja. Brother Subai, you don't understand. Diya. Yes, brother Subai, you don't understand. Xiao Longnu. This is a little secret between us girls, brother Subai. Subai. Okay, I really don't understand. Ding, Xingtian Armor Summoner Li Haoshan joins the group chat. Ding, Ultraman Tiga's human form Dagu joins the group chat. Ding, Suruo Fei and Enoch Nagata Yuka join the group chat. At this moment, 3 group messages appeared. Each group message represents the joining of a new group member. Garp. Great, finally, new group members have joined. Our chat group has grown again. Guo Jing. Welcome, warm welcome. I didn't expect that on the 3rd day, which is the most difficult day, I would be given such a big surprise. Now the 3rd day is not difficult anymore. Xiao Longnu. Yeah, me too. Diya. Welcome, well, there seems to be another female member among the new members this time. Lu Pijang. For new members, if you don't understand anything, you can directly look at the group file, which contains an introduction to the chat group and various functions. Because new people will join the chat group, it is a bit tiring to introduce things about the chat group to new people every time. So I simply wrote down all the introductions about the chat group, various functions, and group members, and then uploaded it to the group file. In this way, new members who join the group can read the group files to understand the situation by themselves, without the need for them to introduce each one. And Subai, after seeing the new members joining the group this time, was also a little happy. Unexpectedly, the 3 newcomers who joined the group this time were all from the tokusatsu world. He has also watched tokusatsu before, but he has not seen many tokusatsu dramas, at least much less than those who are fans of tokusatsu. But it's nothing less. He has watched a few Ultraman movies, he has also watched a few Kamen Rider movies, and as for Armor Warrior, he has watched all the first 3 movies except for the subsequent ones. And the 3 newcomers who joined the group this time came from worlds that he happened to know. Armored Warrior Xingtian World, Ultraman Tiga World. Kamen Rider 555, also called Kamen Rider Fei's World. Needless to say, Xingtian is known as the pinnacle Armored Warrior. It also has the best plot among Armored Warriors. Not to mention Ultraman Tiga, which boy didn't squat in front of the TV waiting for Ultraman Tiga to play when he was a child? You must know that Ultraman Tiga is the only Ultraman Tiga that has been broadcast on TV. The middle version is even more classic, and the Chinese opening theme when the prelude plays. 303, the DNA is directly awakened. It can be said that if you have not watched Ultraman Tiga among Ultraman, it is equivalent to watching a movie without watching Aoi Sensei's movie. As for Kamen Rider 555, it is also the first Kamen Rider he has watched. Subai still remembers that when he was young, it was still the era of DVDs. At that time, he bought a disc, originally thinking it was an Ultraman disc, but when it was released, it turned out that it was not. He was still crying at that time because he didn't see Ultraman. But after watching a few episodes, he found that it was quite interesting, so he continued watching. Only when he grew older did he realize that the original name of this movie was Kamen Rider 555. So he was so confused that he watched the first Kamen Rider. If we are talking about joining people from other Ultraman worlds, other Kamen Rider worlds, then he may not know yet, but if they are from the Ultraman Tiga world and Kamen Rider 555 world, then he still knows. Especially these 3 newcomers, except for the newcomers from the Kamen Rider 555 world, the other 2 newcomers are both child stars. Li Haoshan is the summoner of Xingtian armor among the armored warriors Xingtian. His nickname is Xiaoshan, which is what his friends call him. He, Kai's Shinin, and Kaizan's Duanmuyan are collectively called the 3 armor heroes because they are the captain's armor summoners. It's just that, as the captain, he actually has some small problems. Like being indecisive or something like that, and if it weren't for the fact that he didn't eliminate Luffy's genetic code, there would be no plot in the second part. But you can't blame him, after all, he also wants to know the truth about his parents' death. Then the question comes, what if I tell him the truth about his parents' death in advance? Then after sealing Luffy and the other nether demons, will he directly eliminate the genetic code? So will what happened in the second part not happen? Interesting and worth a try. And compared to Shinin, at least Xiaoshan will not spoil his teammates. Shinin couldn't bear to attack Baimiao, so Baimiao sent her to the hospital. But if it were Xiaoshan, he would still take action. There is a little problem, but that's okay, after all, no one is perfect. Characters like General Duanmu are very explosive in the entire tokusatsu world. After all, they are still very few. Moreover, General Duanmu was even confused in the theatrical version, and even said the famous saying, "Essay, one say, one say." But there is no problem if it is placed on General Duanmu. He also has this qualification. Chapter 103 Subai. Let me make some additional explanations. In addition to Xiaoshan, the second newcomer to join the group is a heavyweight among the heavyweights. Among those who have watched Ultraman, who doesn't know the name of the broken horn demon Dagu? Who doesn't know how to play the mage Ultraman Tiga into the human body of a warrior? Who doesn't know that Ultraman Tiga's red powerful type is called the Dagu happy type? Who doesn't know that Daji Yu is played by the car accident hero? Who doesn't know that Dagu is the son-in-law of the original Ultraman? In short, among all Ultraman's human bodies, Antonal's name is definitely at the forefront. And he is also a relatively perfect man, with handsome appearance and kind personality, and he has joined the Victory Team, an elite team through his own efforts. He even became the favorite of the Victory Team. I can only say that Dagu's name is even louder than Xiaoshan. There are definitely more people who know Daji Yu than people who know Xiao Tian. As for the third newcomer, not many people may know about it. But Subai knew it just in time, because this newcomer left a deep impression on him at first. Nagata Yuka. Maybe many people don't know this name. But those who are familiar with Kamen Rider 555 will know who she is. In the world of Kamen Rider 555, there are several impressive Enics. They are not the villain Ifa Enoch, but they want to live as human beings, and even help humans. Kiba Yuji, Kaido Kaoru, and Nagata Yuka are the 3 of Enoch. They were Orpheus Enoch, but they did not fall in line with other Orpheus Enoch, and lived as humans at the beginning. He even became friends with Chao Yi and the others. But the turning point of all this was the death of Nagata Yuka. In the original work, Yuka Nagata was captured by humans for research, causing her to lose the ability to transform into Enoch. Then Seiko Kageyama, one of Enoch's 4-leaf clovers, appeared and seriously injured her, leading to her death. When Kiba Yuji found her, he found the mobile phone next to her and thought that a human had killed her. As a result, Kiba Yuji completely turned black and joined the side of Enoch from the original human side. The famous scene of Beach Guardian Kusagaya was created by Yuji Kiba. Kiba Yuji killed him with Sagaya's Caesar belt, making him the Beach Guardian. Of course, in the end, Yuji Kiba sacrificed himself and helped Master Chao kill the last king of Enoch. Among the original trio, only Coast's results were better. The remaining 2 people died, which is really a pity. Moreover, because Nagata Yuka is beautiful, many people regard her as a goddess. Subai remembers that when he was a child, he thought this young lady was very beautiful, so he specially picked out the episodes in which she appeared. Moreover, she also saved Master Chao, and also transformed into Ifa Enoch in front of Master Chao to save Master Chao. Therefore, she is also one of the few Ifa Enoch who was deliberately let go by Master Chao. It's a pity that he died in the end, but now that she has joined the Cha group, her fate has naturally changed. Xiaoshan. At Zhongnan, at Duanmuyan, so you two are also armor summoners? Are you armor summoners from other worlds? Shinan. Well, I am the summoner that Yanlong borrowed. Duanmuyan. I am the summoner of Nava armor. Looking at the prefix you just joined the group with, are you the summoner of Xingtian armor? Xiaoshan. Well, I didn't expect that besides the 2 guys Xiaobing and Xiaofei, I could actually see other armor summoners. Xingtian world. Xiaoshan was very emotional. At first, he thought this was something caused by those ghost demons. Later it was discovered that it was not the case, and there were actually armor summoners from other worlds in the group. They were both armor summoners. Although they were from different worlds, he still had a feeling of sympathy for Lu Nan and Duan Muyan. They are also armor summoners. In the future, they can often communicate with each other on how to defeat the enemy. He believed that in the world of Shinan and Duanmuyan, there must be enemies like the Nether Demon. Later, when the Nether Demon has any conspiracy, he can discuss the business area with them. As for discussing with Xiaobing and Xiaofei, then forget it. Although they are much better than before, but one inherited the family business and the other was addicted to playing games, so it was useless to negotiate with them. He had a hunch that Shinan and Duanmuyan in the group were much more reliable than Xiaobing and Xiaofei. Yuka Nagata. Hello. Hello, Dagu. I didn't expect that there are such magical things in the world. Dagu. But yes, even monsters and Ultraman have appeared, and there is such a magical thing as a Cha group, so it is not a strange thing. At this time, Nagata Yuka and Dagu had also accepted the fact and believed that they had joined a very magical place. I really didn't expect that the people in the group all come from different worlds and have their own characteristics. Of course, the most important person is the group leader of the Cha group. A true god. This kind of existence in myths and legends actually exists, and is in the same Cha group with them. Garp. At Xiaotian, at Dagu, at Zhongtian Yuhua, the 3 newcomers, please introduce yourselves, or update your information to the group file. Butterfly Ninja. Yes, now you have a preliminary understanding of us, but we don't understand you at all. Diya. I got to know someone. This brother Xiaoshan, like brother Shinan and brother Duanmu, is an armor summoner. Diya. But the remaining 2 don't know much about it. Later, Dagu, Xiaoshan and Nagata Yuha also talked about themselves in their world, and also updated this information to the group file. They didn't hide anything. After all, the people in the group were from different worlds. It would be okay even if I told them. What's more, everyone is part of the Cha group, so it's not good to hide anything. And isn't the group leader omniscient and omnipotent and knows everything about all group members? So even if they hide it, it is of no use, and it will also make the group leader unhappy, which is not good. Except for the arrogant Tong Mo, those who can join the Cha group are not fools. Duan Muyan. I thought that our ability to summon armor was already very powerful, but I didn't expect that this Dagu could actually transform into Ultraman Tiga, which was even a reconstruction level. Shinan. Yes, with a height of more than 50 meters and a weight of tens of thousands of tons, he has to deal with monsters of similar size. Shinan. Compared with these monsters, supernatural beasts are nothing. Duan Muyan. Yes, Oxel is really just a little kid in front of these monsters and the transformed Ultraman Tiga. Xiaoshan. So the monsters in the ancient world are also aliens from other planets, but why are these monsters so big? Because the Nether Demon is essentially an alien from another planet, a person from the planet Ares. But the Nether Demon's body shape is quite normal. Although it is also a monster, at least it is not as exaggerated as it is tens of meters tall and weighs tens of thousands of tons. They are both aliens, so why are there such big differences? However, Xiaoshan is also glad that the Nether Demon is not an alien similar to the aliens in Dagu's world. Otherwise, if it turns into such a huge monster, it won't be able to defeat it even if its armor is upgraded. Can't hit a bead at all. Shinan. It's true that the world that Miss Yuka Nagata lives in is somewhat similar to the armor world we live in. Shin Nan. In her world, there are common riders and monsters like Enoch. It feels very similar to our armored warriors and supernatural beasts, Oxer. Duan Muyan. Indeed, but I didn't expect that Miss Yuka Nagata would actually be Ifa Enoch. Although Yuka Nagata is Ifa Enoch, in Duan Muyan's world, she is Oxer. However, Duan Muyan didn't hate the other party. On the one hand, the other party is a member of the Cha group, so what if the other party is from the monster side? How could he hate the group members? On the other hand, judging from the opponent's performance, although the opponent is a monster, he still has a human heart, unlike those Oxels, whose body and heart have all turned into monsters. In fact, he didn't just cut down Oxer when he met him like he is now. At the beginning, he would also talk to Oxer well and persuade them well. But it's no use, so he just cut it off later without bothering to talk nonsense. And this Nagata Yuka should be the kind of person who can talk to her well. In her world, she shouldn't be that kind of cruel monster. Subai. The three newcomers have roughly talked about their situation, so I will make some additions. Subai. For example, Xiao, although his execution ability may be a little worse than Duan Muyan, he will not indulge his teammates like Shinin. Subai. Let's put it this way, if he encounters a situation like that of Shinin and Baimiao comes to challenge him, he will attack Baimiao, not that he cannot bear to attack Shinin. What the group leader said is true, but I have changed now. I will no longer be what the group leader said at the beginning. Duan Muyan. At Xiao, you were right. Even if the other party is your teammate, if the other party dares to become a pig teammate, he still needs to be taught a lesson. However, Duan Muyan was also a little helpless. Why do the other two armor summoners have teammates, but he doesn't? But if his teammates are pig teammates, then it's okay not to have such teammates. Subai. By the way, Xiao, have you already sealed the crossing method once? Although he knew the plot, he didn't know what time the members who joined the chat group were at. Xiao. Well, we have already sealed each other once. Xiao. It's just, seeing Xiao say this, Subai understood. It seems that the time point the other party is currently at is already the time of the second part. They have successfully sealed Lufa once, but because of his own selfishness, Xiao did not eliminate the genetic code of Lufa and the others, causing them to be resurrected. But it's not a big problem, because the plot of the second part is much more exciting than the first one. The Millennium War, Shira armor and the like all appeared in the second part. Subai. It seems that you have already started to deal with the Nether Demon for the second time. Xiao. Well, and after their resurrection, they are stronger than before. Xiao. In other words, this is their original strength, but when we dealt with them for the first time, they had not yet recovered their strength. Duan Muyan. It's not a big problem. As long as you buy the god-level breathing method, your strength will be. There is a big improvement. Duan Muyan. No matter how strong these nether demons are, they will not be your opponents. Xiao. The problem is, I simply can't afford the god-level breathing method. He had also seen them all and was amazed by the products inside, especially the magical skills uploaded by the group leader. But the problem is, he can't afford the god-level breathing method. Because he has nothing that can be used to redeem points. Is it possible that I still need to exchange Xingtian armor? But even so, it is impossible to redeem 100,000 points at once. Shinin. Among your teammates, don't you have the kind of second-generation rich people with rich families? Shinin. Maybe after you betray Hao Chen Zhao, there won't be anyone who can help support you. Xiao. Yes, but that guy probably won't help me. Xiao. I understand, Lufa threatened him with his parents, and then set up a brain shield on him? Xiao. You don't know him. Rather than dealing with the Nether Demon, he wants to inherit the family business and make it prosperous. Thinking of the welcome, the corner of Xiaoshan's mouth twitched. Xiao. As for the person behind me, agree? Xiao. So, even if I tell him about the chat group and the god-level breathing method, he will most likely not agree to fund me. Duan Muyan. Why? You told him about the chat group and the god-level breathing method. Why wouldn't he know that he could become stronger and better deal with the Nether Demon? As for the second-generation rich teammate, he does have one, namely Xiao Fei. Subai. But the chairman of Bawang Group was possessed by Lufa again, and then. Although the other party opened a barbecue restaurant, he didn't look like he was rich. Subai. Xiao is right, his teammate will definitely not support him at least now. Subai. He is the second generation of rich people. His father is the chairman of a company and he will have contact with the Baba Group. Xiao. What, is this the case? He didn't know that his teammates had been set up with some kind of brain nerve shield by Lufa. But the problem is that Xiao Fei will most likely not fund him. Xiao. No wonder I said something was wrong with Xiao Fei. I didn't understand it before, but now I finally understand you. Subai. But it's not because he doesn't want to deal with the Nether Demon, but because he has been shielded by the brain nerves set up by Lufa, which makes him less interested in dealing with the Nether Demon. Xiao was shocked when he saw Subai's words. Chapter 104. You can pledge yourself to Brother Subai. Xiao also reacted after seeing Subai's words. Indeed, Xiao Fei has become a little weird since I don't know when. At the beginning, he had conflicts with the team, but after fighting side by side several times, the conflicts were resolved and the relationship became much more harmonious. But after that, there seemed to be a barrier between Xiao Fei and them. Although it is not as contradictory as at the beginning, Xiao Fei always feels alienated from them. He couldn't figure out why before. Did they do something wrong to make Xiao Fei unhappy? Now he knows that it was Lufa who used that guy to do the trick. Xiao. Sir, group leader, is there any way to break his brain nerve shield? Subai. Yes, judging from the time you are in now, part of his brain nerve shielding has been broken. Subai. As for the remaining part, he only needs to upgrade his armor. After the upgrade, his willpower will become stronger and he will be able to break through the shield. Xiao. Upgrade Feiying armor? How to do this? Subai. To upgrade the armor, in addition to reaching the standard of mental ability, you can also use a set of formulas. In the world of Xingtian, all 3 sets of armor can be upgraded. Upgrading either means reaching the standard of mental ability or being able to use a set of formulas. Xiao and Xiaogang both upgraded after reaching the standard of mental ability, while Xiao Fei told him the formula for upgrading Feiying armor because Cheng Zizi told him. It was precisely because he used the formula to upgrade his armor that he was able to completely break Lufa's brain shield and let him wake up completely. Subai. It's just that even if you let him wake up, even if he is willing to help you, there is still a problem. Xiao. What's the problem? Subai. Although he is the 2nd generation of rich people, he is not the kind of super rich 2nd generation. His father is far from even the richest man in the city. Subai. If he helps you obtain the god-level breathing method, it will also have an impact on his company. Although Xiao Fei is also a rich 2nd generation, he is far behind compared to rich 2nd generations like Bai Miao and Ma Qingshan. Although Bai Miao's family didn't know how much money they had, in one episode he met an unemployed elder, and he asked the elder to work as a manager at a golf course owned by his father. Being able to own a golf course is not something that ordinary wealthy businessmen can do. Not to mention Ma Qingshan, his family's Tianhu group is the leading company in Nanbo City, and his father Ma Dian is also the richest man in Nanbo City. So for them, it was nothing to help Shinan and Duanmuyan gain points to obtain god-level breathing skills, or even god-level piano skills. But if Xiao Fei wants to help Xiaoshan obtain the god-level breathing method, although it will not directly bankrupt his company, but I definitely can't bear it. And Subai, and his family should be going bankrupt soon. It was bankrupted by the Bawang group. In the original work, Xiao Fei even worked under Xiao Dian because of his family's bankruptcy. Therefore, he does not have the ability to support Xiaoshan. Xiaoshan. This. Subai. But it's not a big problem, I can help you, even Dagu and Yuehua, I can help you too. Subai. Because it's a bit difficult for you to collect 100,000 points to buy the god-level breathing method on your own. Although Dagu is from the victory team, TPC can help him. But there are big risks. First of all, they're dealing with monsters. They rely on god-level breathing methods to improve to the point where they can compete with monsters. The current god-level breathing methods are simply not good enough. Secondly, asking TPC to fund him would expose the chat group. You must know that there are hawks among the top leaders of TPC. If the time comes and does something bad to Dagu, it will be bad. Although Dagu has Director Sawai as the backstage, he may not be able to keep him. After the identity of Asuka in Dino was discovered by Gondo's staff, he has always wanted to obtain the light from Asuka and create an artificial Ultraman. Although Dagu was not allowed to do this, everyone who knew his identity was a trustworthy person. Not many people knew Dagu's identity. Apart from the people from the victory team, there were only Director Sawai, Captain Hayate, and a few doctors. At most there is Masaki Keigo, but none of them would expose Dagu's identity, and the information about Ultraman Tiga was also blocked afterwards. Therefore, those high-ranking hawks did not know Dagu's identity. But if Dagu reveals the chat group, these senior officials will definitely not let Dagu go. So for Dagu's sake, whether it's the chat group or his identity as Ultraman Tiga, not too many people in his world can know about it. Even someone who can know must be a trustworthy person. As for Nagata Yuka, she has little money herself, and even her family cannot be saved in a single word, Kaj. It turns out that her partner Kiba Yuji is a rich 2nd generation and can help her. However, due to Kiba Yuji's natural awakening of Enoch, he was in a coma for a while. When he woke up, his girlfriend and family property had been robbed. So I no longer have the ability to support her. In other words, whether it is Xiaoshan, Dagu or Nagata Yuka, it is very difficult to get points. So it would be better for him to fund them. Anyway, after obtaining the Saiyan bloodline, he has nothing to buy for the time being, so he just keeps the points aside. And after completing Lu Pijang's task before, he received another 1,000,000 points. Although he doesn't have a lot of points now, there is no problem at all if he spends hundreds of thousands of points to support other group members. Later, Subai was in the group and sent 3 red envelopes to the 3 people. Each red envelope has 100,000 points, allowing them to purchase god-level breathing techniques. Dagu. Lord Group Leader, this. Xiaoshan. Sir, Group Leader, these points are too many, Yuka Nagata. Lord Leader, you'd better take it back, this is too much. You know, this is 100,000 points, it's an astronomical sum for them. And it was given to them by the group leader, the god. How could they have the nerve to take it? They don't even know how to pay it back in the future. Lu Pijang. Just accept it. The group leader is such a group leader who thinks about his group members. Butterfly Ninja. Yes, just accept it. This is Brother Subai's wish. Do you want to let him down? Diya. It's okay. You just joined the group so you don't know, but as long as you join the group for a long time, you will know that Brother Subai is a very good group leader. Garp. Yeah, just take it. Don't be embarrassed or put any mental burden on it. Subai. They are right, just take it and return it to me later. Subai. After you have the god-level breathing method, your strength will increase quickly, and you will be able to earn points faster and return them to me. Seeing everyone in the group saying this, Yin Ji Yu and the other three stopped refusing. If they don't take it, they will really let down the group leader. Dagu. Thank you, Lord Group Leader, Shaan. Don't worry, Group Leader, I will definitely pay back the points as soon as possible. Yuka Nagata. Sir, Group Leader, I still don't know how to get points. Yuka Nagata. But don't worry, I will definitely pay it back. Kamen Rider 555 World. Nagata Yuka looked at the 100,000 points she had accepted, her eyes already moist. Because of family reasons, she has been bullied by her sisters at home. And I was bullied by my classmates when I was in school. Although after awakening Ifa Enoch, she killed everyone who bullied her. But essentially she is still a kind-hearted person. Apart from Kiba Yuji and Kaido Kaoru, this is the first time she has met such a good person. She felt a warm feeling from the group leader. Butterfly Ninja. At Zhang Tianhu Hua, judging from your name, you should be a female group member. Yuka Nagata. Yes, I am a woman. Butterfly Ninja. Hey, there is actually another way for you to repay Brother Subai. Nagata Yuka. What is the solution? Butterfly Ninja. I pledge myself to you. Yuka Nagata. Huh? Seeing the Butterfly Ninja's words, two blushes appeared on Nagata Yuka's pretty face. Are all the girls in this group so direct? Diya. This is a good idea, but I don't know if Brother Subai will agree to it. Xiao Longnu. How about you, Lycus? Call the group leader Brother Subai from now on. 11. Garp. Ahem, let me explain first that this title can only be used by female group members. Garp. As for us male group members, let's just call the group leader honestly. Obviously, Garp said these two sentences to Dagu and Shaan. Of course, even if he didn't say it, Yinyu and Shaan would not be Subai's brothers with Subai. Even if the group leader is older than them, asking them to call Subai brother always gives me goosebumps. As for the Butterfly Ninja, the old group members had no reaction. After all, they had already seen that the female members in the group were interested in the group leader. And this is not surprising at all. If it weren't for the fact that they are boys, they would definitely be interesting to the group leader. A person like the group leader who is handsome, strong, and considerate of the group members and has a kind heart. Who wouldn't love it? However, they did not expect that Butterfly Ninja and the others would be able to accept one more female group member coming to compete with them for the group leader. They even suggested it themselves. What they don't know is that although Butterfly Ninja, Xiao Longnu and Diya do compare with each other, and sometimes they are jealous of each other. But they never thought of occupying Subai alone. Because they know that they cannot occupy it alone. How could such an outstanding person as Brother Subai be owned by them alone? Therefore, they don't mind sharing their Subai brother with other sisters at all, let alone exclude other sisters. Of course, sometimes those who should be compared still need to be compared with each other, and those who should be jealous still need to be jealous. Subai. Okay you guys, I have just joined the group, let me get used to the atmosphere of the group. Subai. By the way, I have a few more things to remind you. Subai. Shaan, you have to be more careful in the future. Once you find that Xiaoging's summoner is lost, go find Xiao Shefei. You are welcome to know how to find him. 17. Subai. You have to tell him that the King Kong summoner was robbed, so whatever the King Kong armor did was caused by the Netherworld Legion. People did it. In the original work, Xiao Shefei originally wanted to live an ordinary life, no longer participate in the affairs of the Netherworld army, and just complete his life as an ordinary person on Earth. Dream. Even if it weren't for Luffy's conspiracy, his dream would have been realized long ago. But because Kusi snatched the King Kong summoner, and then summoned the King Kong armor to kill Xiao Shefei's good friend Xiaowu. Xiao Shefei thought that the armored warrior had killed his good friend, causing him to return to the Netherworld army and was eventually eliminated. Subai. Also, if your summoner is taken away, please contact Amisho immediately. Subai. Otherwise, Amisho will misunderstand that you killed his partner, which will cause him to return to the Netherworld army. Originally, Enmexio had convinced several Nether demons to break away from the Nether Legion and live a good life on Earth. But after Luffy knew about it, he asked Kusi to use the Xingtian summoner he snatched to summon the Xingtian armor to kill these Nether demons who wanted to betray the Netherworld Legion. He also deliberately left evidence to prove that it was Xingtian armor, which was done by Shaan. This caused Amisho to break up with Shaan and return to the Netherworld Legion. But even so, Amisho still asked Emperor Yan to let Shaan go before he died. It can be seen that Amisho still has feelings for Shaan. Moreover, although Amisho is a Nether demon, he is even Luffy's son. But he was kind-hearted, and when he was snatching the energy crystal, he deliberately let some people go. Although these people were eventually killed by Luffy. Therefore, it is completely a pity for Xiao Shefei and Amisho. They could have lived a good life on Earth as ordinary people. But he still couldn't escape Luffy's calculations. The key is that Luffy's trick of framing people is very common, and he has been using it from the beginning, stimulating the conflict between Xiao Gang and Xiao Fei. Still using it later. The key is that Xiao Fei, and Amisho and Zhao Shefei all fell into the trap. Therefore, Subai also wanted to give Zhao Shefei and Amisho a chance. After all, although they did kill many people from alien planets, they never killed people on Earth. So they are indeed guilty of heinous crimes on alien planets, but they have no sins on Earth. This is like a pig butcher. He has killed many pigs. He is notorious in the pig world and has committed a heinous crime. But this is normal for humans. Anyway, it is not humans but pigs that are killed, which is completely innocent. Therefore, Amisho and Zhao Shefei can both live on Earth. As for Kusi, this guy was still saved in the first part. But in the second part, for some unknown reason, he only wanted to return to Ares, which led him to return to the Netherworld army at the beginning and did a lot of bad things for Lufa. If Xiaoshan's current time point is the first one, he can still be saved. But since it's already the second part, let's forget it. Chapter 105. The time has come. Raise troops today. Xiaoshan and Mishu, Zhao Shefei, so the leader of the group thinks that they can abandon their identity as Nether Legion soldiers and live a good life on Earth, just like ordinary people. Subai. Well, if it weren't for Lu Fa's design to frame him and cause them to misunderstand, they wouldn't have helped Lu Fa. Subai. What's more, they haven't done anything bad on Earth, and there is no problem living on Earth. Seeing Subai's words, Xiaoshan became thoughtful. Indeed, the group leader is right. Although they are nether demons, they are different from other nether demons and have not done anything bad. Although he suddenly helped Lufa out of nowhere and was sealed by them. But after the resurrection, they were still safe and sound and did nothing bad. He didn't know about Zhao Shefei, but he still knew about Amisho. Not only did he not do anything bad, but he also helped Yuzi a lot. And after getting in touch with him, he also felt that Amisho was kind-hearted, completely different from those cruel banquet demons. Therefore, it would not be bad if the other party could really live peacefully on Earth. At least in his heart, he did regard Amisho as a friend. Zhao Shefei and Amisho, he knew. Once Xiaobing and his summoner are taken away, go to them and tell them that the summoner was taken away. They cannot be allowed to misunderstand that their companions were killed by summoners like them. Tell them that all this is Lufa's conspiracy, but then again, he remembered that there were 3 captains of the Nether Demon, right? Where was the other one? Why didn't the leader of the crowd say anything? Could it be said that that person is not suitable to live on Earth like Zhao Shefei and Amisho? No matter what, he will do whatever the group leader says. Subai. As for Dagu, I don't have any good suggestions. Bai really didn't have any good suggestions for Dagu. Because unlike Xiaoshan, Shinan, Dagu's teammates, they are all very capable. Moreover, in the end Dagu has a happy family with children and a daughter, which can be said to be a very happy ending. Nothing to regret. Oh, no, I still have regrets. Subai. If you meet a monster named Piccolo and you don't have to kill him, then don't kill him. Why? Subai. Remember, just punch and kick, don't use energy moves to attack. Piccolo is an impressive monster. Because the village he used to live in has changed a lot, he made trouble everywhere in order to make people remember the old village. And when he knew that his former village would never come back, he even said that he would destroy the village. But from beginning to end, he never destroyed anything in the village, not even a tree. In the end, he deliberately sought death and died at the hands of Ultraman Tiga, which was very regrettable. Oh, Piccolo is a monster who doesn't deserve to die. Subai. There is also a monster named Getty, but it should be still some distance away from you now. Subai. Anyway, just tell me when you encounter a mechanical shark monster. Subai was worried that if he talked too much, he would not be able to remember it. So it would be better to wait until Dagu told him when it first happened, and then he would tell Dagu what to do. Subai. As for Yuehua, if you are in danger, tell the people in the group immediately and we will go over to help you immediately. Shinan. Yes, and Xiaoshan, if you encounter any danger, remember to tell us, we will definitely help you. Duan Muyan. Yes, it just so happens that I can also see how strong Nether Demon and Alfei Enoch are. Duan Muyan. But if you encounter any danger Dagu, then you should go to the group leader. Shin Nan. Well, the only person in the group who has the ability to deal with your danger is the group leader. You must know that there are very tall monsters in the world where Dagu lives. The only person in the group who has the ability to deal with these monsters is the group leader. Others, even Mr. Garp, the strongest person besides the group leader, do not have this strength. Xiaoshan. I know. Nagata Yuka. I know it too. Dagu. I usually won't encounter any danger, but if I encounter danger, I will tell the group leader. Later, the 3 received the red envelopes given to them by Subai, purchased the god-level breathing method, and began to practice. Soon, they also felt the magic and power of the god-level breathing method. Guo Jing. By the way, you 3 newcomers haven't seen the true face of the group leader yet. Guo Jing. Just in time, I will start a live broadcast tomorrow, and the group leader will also appear at that time. You can take a look at the true appearance of the group leader. Dagu. Oh, what's the reason for your live broadcast? Guo Jing. It's nothing, just planning to rebel and overthrow my current royal family. T. Good guy, they just joined the chat group, but as soon as they started, they got such a fierce one. Some members actually want to rebel. For modern people like them, rebellion may be just a joke. But for ancient people, this was no joke, because ancient people would not treat rebellion as a joke. These are the members of the chat group, they are so fierce. Of course, what they are more curious about is that they will be able to see the true face of the group leader tomorrow. Then their luck is really very good. Dagu, don't worry, I will definitely watch your live broadcast tomorrow. Dagu prayed in his heart that no monster would appear tomorrow. Otherwise, if you disturb him to watch the live broadcast and admire the true appearance of the group leader, he will definitely let the monster that disturbed him feel how happy his happy type is. Xiaoshan. Me too, I will definitely watch the live broadcast tomorrow. Xiaoshan is also praying in his heart that there will be no chaos in the dark world tomorrow. Otherwise, he will let the other party know what cruelty is. But then again, he still has teammates. If the nether demon really appears, can we just let Xiaobing and Xiaofei come in? He had worked hard to deal with the nether demon before. It's okay to take a day off once in a while. Yuka Nagata. Will we know the true appearance of the group leader tomorrow? I'm really looking forward to it. Nagata Yuka is looking forward to it very much. She wonders what this group leader who thinks about the group members, has a kind heart, and is also a god, looks like. Butterfly Ninja. Sister Yuha, your expectation is right, because brother Subai is very handsome. Diya. Yeah, as long as you see the true face of brother Subai, you will definitely fall in love with him like us. Xiao Longnu. That's right, I'm really envious that you can see brother Subai through the live broadcast tomorrow. Xiao Longnu. Unlike me, I can only see brother Subai in reality, and I can also follow brother Subai, proud. Butterfly Ninja. Little dragon girl, I saw something called showing off from the lines in your words. Diya. Yes, I really envy you. Fortunately, I have met brother Subai before, and I am the first person to see brother Subai. Diya. By the way, I am still alone with brother Subai. Xiao Longnu, apart from you tomorrow, there will be brother Guo Jing and others who will be with brother Subai. You and brother Subai are not alone. Good guy. Seeing the competition between Diya and Xiao Longnu, Subai felt helpless. How come these little girls are all bad at learning? Especially Xiao Longnu, she was originally inexperienced in world affairs, just like a fairy. Why have you learned to show off now? It's like a fairy has fallen into the mortal world. But then again, I saw several female group members comparing themselves to each other. It feels pretty good, when they grow up a little more and become what he likes. This feeling should be better. In short, now there are new people joining the group, and the size of their chat group has grown again. Finally, the day has finally arrived. Guo Jing sat on the high platform, feeling very excited. It has been a day since Dagu and the others joined the group. In other words, 3 days have finally passed. Today is the time for him to officially take action on the server. Moreover, today is the time for the group leader to come. Because he was so excited, he didn't even sleep all night. With his current strength, staying up all night is not a problem at all. He is still full of energy and full of energy. Later, Hong Qigong also came to Guo Jing. The excitement on his face was no worse than Guo Jing's, or even more exciting than Guo Jing's. He was excited not only for today but also for the change of dynasty. What was even more exciting was that he was finally going to meet the legendary group leader. Before, he only listened to what his apprentice said, but today, he finally got to see it with his own eyes. Therefore, he was so excited that he didn't sleep all night. I can't help it, I'm so excited that I really can't sleep. Zero please ask for flowers, however, he still had to confirm it first. Jinger, the group leader will really come today. If the group leader doesn't come by then, wouldn't the excitement be in vain? And as the saying goes, the greater the hope, the higher the hope. If I can't see the leader of the group today, I won't feel much joy even if I win the Zhao Song royal family. And it's not impossible, although the previous group leader had already agreed. But what if something happens to the other party temporarily? You must know that as the other party is a god, even if something happens suddenly, it is normal. And the other party's things are definitely more important than theirs. Well, let me ask first. After hearing his master's words, Guo Jing, who was originally very excited, calmed down. Yes, what if the group leader is suddenly unavailable? Just because you were available before does not mean you are available today. As a god, the group leader must have many things on his mind. Suddenly there was something that he needed to deal with, so he didn't have time to come over. That was also very normal. So, it's better to ask in advance. Guo Jing. At Group Zhu Subai, group leader, I wonder if you can come to my world today. Subai. Don't worry, I won't break my promise if I promise you. Subai knew what Guo Jing was worried about, so he gave him a reassuring reply. Moreover, it is very normal for Guo Jing to have such worries. For example, if you make an appointment with someone you like, you definitely hope that it won't rain on the day you go out. The night before I was definitely worried about whether it would rain tomorrow. Even if the weather forecast says it won't rain tomorrow, I will definitely be worried. Or maybe your good friend agreed to come and play with you on the weekend, which made you very happy. But you will definitely worry about whether the other person will suddenly stop coming if something happens. After all, even if such a thing really happens, it is normal. So it is safer to ask first on the day. Guo Jing. Thank you, Lord Group Leader. After receiving Subai's reply, Guo Jing breathed a sigh of relief. He looked at his master and said with a smile, "Don't worry, master. The leader of the group said he will come over, so we can rest assured." That's good. Hong Qigang also breathed a sigh of relief, as long as what he was most worried about wouldn't happen. The feeling of worry is gone, and it is the feeling of excitement. Soon, other people arrived one after another, and they all gathered under the stage, all of them with very excited expressions. Obviously, the reason for their excitement was the same as that of Guo Shi and Hong Qigang. The number of people gathered this time was smaller than before. Those few people were sent out by Guo Jing to perform tasks. Originally, those people were reluctant. After all, they would not be able to see the Lord God. However, Guo Jing assured them that they would definitely see the Lord God, so they were willing to leave. After seeing everyone arrived, Guo Jing walked to the stage, looked at the people below, looked at the extremely excited faces, and smiled slightly. Hearing what Guo Jing said, the people below became even more excited. And even though they are not many in number, they are full of confidence and will definitely accomplish great things. The time has come. We raise our troops today. They used to be at the bottom of society and were bullied by others. From now on, everyone in the world can live a happy and peaceful life. Of course, there is one more thing before that. Besides this, there are several special guests today. As for the Jin Kingdom, which has a deep hatred against us, they have only one outcome, and that is to be eliminated. Today is the day when we overthrow the decadent Zhao and Song royal families and establish a new era. Under Guo Jing's words, the popularity of the people below also reached its peak. And today, they will avenge the suffering they suffered in the past, and avenge their other friends and family members who died under bullying. We have been waiting for so long, and finally today is the day. Because they know who this special guest is. Everyone, this day has finally arrived. But what about the guests? And after overthrowing the Zhao and Song royal families, Mongolia and Xixia, which have been eyeing us covetously, are also in our pocket. Could it be that besides Lord Kami, there is someone else coming to Xixi? They want to build an era where people can live happily and peacefully. Chapter 106I, Guo Jing, invite the Song dynasty to die today. Guo Jing. Lord Leader, Xiao Longnu, I'm ready. Subai. Okay, I'll come over now. Xiao Longnu. Okay, brother Guo Jing, I will come over now with my brother Guo Jing and sister Huang Rong. The world of divine sculptures. After Xiao Longnu exited the chat group, she looked at middle-aged Guo Jing and Huang Rong who were looking at her excitedly. Brother Guo Jing, sister Huang Rong, we can set off now. Very good. Middle-aged Guo Jing and Huang Rong were very happy. On the one hand, they can go to other worlds, and it is also their past world. On the other hand, they can see the group leader with their own eyes. And they didn't have any objection to Xiao Longnu's title. They even accepted Xiao Longnu as their god sister. Although the age gap between them is a bit big, but that's not a problem. Do you know that we have known each other for the past year? What's more, the age gap between them is not enough to make them friends. Later, Xiao Longnu activated the time travel function and walked in with middle-aged Guo Jing and Huang Rong. Condor World. Everyone, some of you will be here soon. You must not be negligent in the slightest. Now the group leader is coming soon. Although I have said it many times before, please do not worry about saying it again. This is the first time that the group leader has come to his world, and it's not because of any mission, but because he invited him here. If something goes wrong, he really deserves death. Yes. Everyone in the audience was extremely excited, and they all made up their minds that 960 would show their best side soon. We must not make that god feel unhappy at all. The next moment, two black channels appeared next to Guo Jing. Then, Subai, Xiao Longnu and others walked out of the two passages. Brother Guo Jing, we are here, master, and young me, here we are. Xiao Longnu, middle-aged Guo Jing and others greeted Hong Qigang and Guo Jing. Then, they saw Subai on the side, brother Subai. Xiao Longnu ran to Subai very happily. This was the second time she saw brother Subai in reality. Lord Group Leader. Guo Jing also came to Subai and saluted respectfully. At this time, all the eyes of everyone present were focused on Subai. No matter it is Hong Qigang, middle-aged Guo Jing and Huang Rong, or everyone in the audience, it is the first time to see Subai. From the names Xiao Longnu and Guo Jing just called, they could know that this person who looked like a young man was the god. Therefore, they also unanimously saluted respectfully. Greetings to the Lord God. Although they are very curious about what kind of god Subai is, after all, the gods in myths and legends do not match their appearance. But no matter what, the other party is a god. Since he is a god, it doesn't matter what kind of god he is. Even if he is just a landlord, he is still a real god to them. You all get up. With a wave of his hand, Subai helped up those who saluted him. This also made them worship and believe in Subai even more. He is truly worthy of being a god. Just a wave of his hand has such an effect. With the gods here today, overthrowing the Zhao and Song royal families is a sure thing. Lord Group Leader, before we set off, I have asked people to spread the word in various places that we want to overthrow the Zhao Rong royal family. In other words, at least half of the world knows that we are going to rebel. But I believe they will support us, because our rebellion this time is to save them, and also to avenge General Yu Fei and the other heroes who died tragically. That's right, those missing people were arranged by Guo Jing everywhere to spread the news that they wanted to take revenge, build a better era for the people, and avenge General Yu Fei and other heroes who died tragically. In this way, the vast majority of the people will definitely support them. After this period of development, Guo Jing discovered something. That is, the common people dare not speak out against the current royal family. Especially the shame of Jingkong and the tragic death of General Yu Fei and other heroes made the people a lot more angry towards the current court. Especially the matter of General Yu Fei. He could obviously defeat the kingdom of Jin, but he was killed because of unfounded charges. You must know that General Yu Fei's status in the minds of the people is very high. It is the same whether it was the common people back then or the common people now. It can be said that if Yu Fei chose to rebel back then, his Yu family army and many people in the world would definitely respond. Even overthrowing the royal family is not impossible. However, General Yu Fei still chose death. This also made the people very sorry. And the anger towards the royal family is also accumulated in his heart. After all these years, the anger has not dissipated at all. It's just that they dare not speak out in anger. After all, if they say anything casually, it may be a serious crime that will kill the 9 clans. But if there are warriors who stand up and raise their arms and shout, they want to avenge General Yu Fei and overthrow this decadent court, then they will definitely respond. It was precisely because of understanding this that Guo Jing sent people to preach that they would rebel, avenge General Yu Fei, and bring them a good life. And this is not just spreading rumors, but they will actually do it. Of course, it is not easy for Guo Jing to think of this method with his mind. This method was also taught to him by Subai. Water can carry a boat, but it can also overturn it. Whoever wins the hearts and minds of the people will be the winner. Yes, since everything is ready now, let's get started. Today is the time for the Zhao and Song royal families to perish. But what are you going to do? Lead these people into the palace and kill everyone in the royal family? That's true. Guo Jing nodded. This was the most straightforward way he thought of. With the strength of him and his men, even if there are hundreds of thousands of troops in front of them, they will not be afraid. It would be easy to break into the palace directly and deal with the current Zhao and Song royal family. But have you ever thought about how many casualties this will cause? It's not polite at all for those damned people to die, but what about the innocent people among them? I'm not talking about your subordinates. I know that your subordinates are now very powerful and it is difficult for them to suffer casualties. But what about those soldiers, those forbidden troops, and those defenders of Lenon City? There are many people among them who do not deserve to die. With the strength of Guo Jing and his men, even if they only have tens of thousands of people, they are still enough to kill an army of hundreds of thousands. But is this really enough? Although no one is immune to death in a war, there is also a way to minimize casualties. Moreover, it is still the kind of method that makes the dead people a disaster. Lord Group Leader, what do you mean? After hearing Subai's words, Guo Jing already understood a little bit, but he didn't know if what he thought was the same as what the group leader thought. So I still have to ask, it seems you have already thought of it. Actually, my thoughts are the same as yours. When you enter Lenon City, if you encounter someone who blocks you, you don't need to fight them. You just need to use your god-level piano skills to play a song for them. At that time, those cancers will kill themselves, and the remaining people are people who should not die, and they can still be allowed to continue to defend their homes and countries. Yes, this was Subai's method, and it was also the method Guo Jing came up with after Subai's reminder. Just use god-level piano skills to fight against the enemy. Although Subai and the people in the group have said before, it is better not to use god-level piano skills in battle. Because the enemy won't give them a chance to play. But there are exceptions to everything. For example, a war between 2 armies falls under this exception. Because the 2 armies will not start fighting directly as soon as they come up. Both sides must have a few words before the war, especially since the generals of both sides may challenge each other. There are so many opportunities to play, and once the playing is performed, those who are willing to die will naturally kill themselves. The people who survived were those who had never committed any crime, or had not committed any serious crime, and their crimes would not lead to death. These people should not die in the war, but can continue to defend their homes and country. So what if the 2 sides are enemies now? After playing the song, what can't be reconciled? Even those who have the means to die choose to commit suicide in order to reconcile themselves and atone for their sins. By then everyone will be on their own. I see. In this way, Brother Guo Jing can only deal with the annoying people, and there is no need to deal with the good people. After hearing what Subai said, Xiao Longnu was very satisfied with this method. During this time, I traveled around the world, and on my way to Yangcheng, I also passed through some cities. 0. She also gained a lot of knowledge. She had seen soldiers who preyed on the common people along with corrupt officials and the rich. I have also seen soldiers who truly care about and protect the people. In her opinion, the former is naturally worthy of death, while the latter is not worthy of death. But if there is a fight, it will not be determined whether the other party is a soldier of the former or a soldier of the latter. However, if you use God-level piano skills, there will be no problem. The damned soldiers would kill themselves. Soldiers who do not die can also get benefits and thus better protect their homes and country. And it will also be beneficial in the future. After all, after overthrowing the Zhao and Song royal families, troops would definitely need to be stationed everywhere. As long as you listen to Guo Jing's performance, the mods in the army will be eliminated, and the remaining ones will sincerely protect the people. With them stationed in various places, you can rest assured. Guo Jing and his men did have the ability to kill indiscriminately among hundreds of thousands of troops. But there is absolutely no need for this. Even if he wins in the end and the army suffers heavy losses, the final loss is his own power star. After all, after overthrowing the royal family, wouldn't the army be yours? It can be said that the god-level piano skill is not a very powerful skill in battle. But in many cases, it is the magical skill among magical skills, a magical skill that is more useful than the magical breathing method. If the butterfly ninja had learned the god-level piano skills while completing the mission before, she wouldn't even have to fight those evil ghosts. She would just have to send people to hold them back and prevent them from stopping her. As soon as she plays the song, those evil spirits will automatically. I'm done. What the group leader said is that after being reminded by the group leader, I also plan to use this method. 17. And I also plan to use this method to deal with the Zhao and Song royal families and the current officials. Guo Jing said. In addition to using god-level piano skills on the army, eliminating the mods in the army, and winning without bloodshed. He also plans to use god-level piano skills on the royal family and various officials. Although now the imperial court is corrupt and the court is corrupt. But it does not mean that all members of the royal family and all officials deserve to die. There are also good officials like General Yu Fei, General Han Shizhong, and Song City who stick to their true intentions. It would be inappropriate to shoot them all to death with one shot. Of course, Guo Jing also knew that there must be very few people in the royal family and officials who did not deserve to die, but it would definitely be better than killing them all. But Lord Group Leader, if I want to display my god-level piano skills, I need to gather everyone who listens to my playing. What should I do if something slips through the net? After thinking about it for a while, Guo Jing discovered a problem and said a little embarrassed. His god-level piano skills are amazing, but they have to be heard to be useful. And if you want to hear him play, you need to gather everyone together. Just how to gather people is a problem. 4.2. Moreover, mods and cancers are not limited to the army and officials of Lenon City. Who knows how many mods there are among the armies and officials everywhere? Could it be that he wants to play from city to city in the future? It wasn't impossible, but what he was worried about was what if there was some news and those cancerous tumors escaped. You don't need to worry about this. When the time comes, I will amplify the sound of your piano so that not only people in Lenon City can hear it, but people in the entire Song dynasty can hear it. In this way, it can be settled once and for all. I see, then I'd like to thank you, the leader of the group. After everything was ready, Guo Jing also planned to set off with his people. Now the news of their rebellion is not known to the whole world, but most people know it. By the time they arrived at Lenon City, everyone in the Song dynasty probably knew about it. Lenon will definitely be prepared. Therefore, they must seize the time, rush to Lenon as soon as possible, solve the problem as soon as possible, and the people can live a good life as soon as possible. However, Subai told them not to go to such trouble. I said, today is the time to change the regime, just settle the matter today. Today? But Lord Group Leader, it will take some time for us to reach Lenon City. No, it's just a matter of a moment, Subai said, using instant transmission directly, and brought everyone to Lenon City. Guo Jing and others were very surprised when they saw that they had arrived in Lenon City in an instant. But they suppressed their surprise for the time being, because Guo Jing first started the live broadcast and then shouted loudly. I, Guo Jing, invite the Song dynasty to die today. Chapter 107. Please invite all the group leaders to show their holiness. I, Guo Jing, invite the Song dynasty to die today. Guo Jing's voice rang out in Lenon City, and it was his full cry, so not only the entire Lenon City, but at least 1/3 of Lenon City heard his voice. Everyone who heard it showed expressions of shock. Especially the people near Guo Jing, and the others looked at them with dumbfounded eyes. In their opinion, what Guo Jing shouted was too treasonous. Although there is no word rebellion, but these words asking the Song dynasty to die are no different from rebellion. Soon, the news that someone came to Lenon City to rebel spread throughout Lenon City. Everyone was shocked and confused. What's going on? Are the rebels now so openly shouting on the streets? In the chat group at this time, because Guo Jing started a live broadcast, all the group members saw him shouting loudly. Garp. Okay, domineering. Guo Jing's words are really domineering. Garp. When I overthrow the celestial dragons in the future, I will also shout like this. Garp. will clear the celestial dragons to death today. Young master. If those people in the dark cooking world don't understand the situation clearly and want to cause trouble for me, I can do anything like this. The young master. My little master, please let the dark cooking world die. Alu. Me too, Alu, the people of G Gourmet Club will die. Shinin. Shinin, invite the supernatural beast to die. Duan Muyan. Duan Muyan, ask Oxer to die. Shaoshan. Shaoshan, will die in the underworld. Dagu. You are all so good at middle school, so I will also say this. Dagu, invite the monster to die. Subai was also happy to see the people in the group getting together for the second time. But then again, this is not the second grade for them. After all, Shuni only fantasizes about things that don't exist, imagining himself as a hero or something like that. But what they say really exists in their world, so it doesn't seem to be considered a second grader. Moreover, Guo Jing's words reminded him of a game he had played before. One of the characters has a very similar line. The poor Taoist Zhang Zhao asks the big man to die 20 times. It is a pity that Zhang Zhao failed, but Guo Jing did not. Xiao Longnu. Just now, we personally experienced the miracle of the group leader. Xiao Longnu. The leader of the group took many of us to the destination in one go. It's really amazing. Guo Jing. Yes, the power of the group leader is beyond our imagination. Originally, it would take several days to get to Lenon City from their location. But in the hands of the group leader, it arrived in an instant. It was really magical. Lu Pijang. This is normal. The leader of the group brought the Earth to a new galaxy all at once. You must know that this is a few light years away. Lu Pijang. Now it's just moving on the Earth. If the group leader is willing, he can circle the Earth countless times in an instant. Butterfly Ninja. So, brother Guo Jing, is this your destination this time? Guo Jing. Well, this is the capital of our Song dynasty, Lenon City. Guo Jing. The royal family and various high-status officials are all in this city. Guo Jing looked at Lenon City. Because it is the capital, the lives of the people here are better than those in other places. Of course, it's not much better. After all, this is the emperor's feat, and the current emperor is incompetent and greedy for pleasure. And those high-ranking officials prey on the common people, so even the people in the capital do have a better life than the people in other places, but they are not much better. Some people are even worse off than people in other places. After all, this is a capital city where high-ranking officials gather. I accidentally offended so-and-so's son and so-and-so's subordinate. Then it may not be just you who suffers, but starting from today, this situation will change. Lord Group Leader, what should we do next? Guo Jing looked at Subai and asked. According to his initial plan, after arriving in Lenon City, he would first deal with the people who were obstructing him, and then break into the palace and overthrow the royal family members. But now that the group leader is here, this plan naturally becomes meaningless. The group leader must have a better way. You are the protagonist today, I am just a bystander. So it's up to you to decide what to do, Subai said with a smile. Today is Guo Jing's home court, so naturally he won't take the limelight. Then please help me, the leader of the group, to spread the sound of my piano throughout Lenon City. Oh, just spread it throughout Lenon City? It can also spread throughout the world? Let's spread the word throughout Lenon City first, settle the affairs in Lenon City first, and then deal with matters in other places. And it can also spread the news, so that people in other places can be mentally prepared first. Otherwise, if they see so many people suddenly choosing to commit suicide, I'm worried that they may not be able to accept it. At that time, we will still need the help of the group leader. Guo Jing has already planned his next action. Conquer Lenon City first and make all the mods in Lenon City disappear. Then, he will spread the reputation of the group leader and let people all over the world know that there is a god who comes in person to help him build a new era after knowing that their life is very difficult. Moreover, he was given a magical skill that could remove all cancers and mods. In this way, even if they see someone around them suddenly committing suicide, it will be easier for them to accept it. Because they will think that this is the magical skill given by the group leader at work. For the common people, things related to gods, no matter what happens, are not surprising at all. Lenon City is a testing point. He will first spread the reputation of the leader in Lenon City, letting them know that the leader is a god who cares for them. Then he will display his god-level piano skills to help the people get rid of the cancerous spores. See how they react. If the response is good, then this method can be used all over the world. If the response doesn't work, then you have to think about a new calendar. Let the cancer and mods elsewhere live a little longer. So what if they knew the truth? Escape. Where can they escape to? With the help of the group leader, the entire world, even the surrounding countries such as Mongolia, Jin and Xixia, are his goals. Where can they escape in time? Everyone, I know that your life is very difficult. Today's imperial court is ignorant and immoral. All officials and businessmen are colluding with each other to prey on the common people. You are now just like the people at the end of the previous dynasties. You may be a little better than them, but you are not much better. And those dynasties were eventually replaced by new dynasties. Now, the Song dynasty has also reached this point. Guo Jing glanced at the people around him and said loudly. His voice spread far and wide, and was heard by many people. Moreover, this is not a lie, because according to the group leader, the Mongolian army will begin to invade the Song dynasty in a few decades. The Song dynasty will be destroyed by then. In other words, the Song dynasty only had a few decades left. Counting the current emperor, there are only 2 emperors in total. The next emperor will be the last emperor of the Song dynasty. Therefore, the current period of the Song dynasty can indeed be said to be the last period. When a dynasty reaches its end, there will definitely be a new dynasty to replace it. This is the inevitability of history. Guo Jing's words made those who were officials and businessmen look very ugly. Because they are the people who Guo Jing calls the common people. The key is, the other party is really right. Who among the officials in Lenon City has not outdone the common people? What kind of honest officials are they? Those who don't join in the same trend with them will have been squeezed out long ago. The officialdom is like a big dying vat. If you want to get out of the mud without getting dyed, you may be able to become an official in other places. But in Lenon City, the capital of the Song dynasty, it was simply impossible. However, these words lit a fire in the hearts of those people. Because they remembered the time when they were bullied and oppressed. It was like this before, it is like this now, and it will be like this in the future. Even if those dandy boys ride horses in the street and trample people to death, they will just sneer and leave. The lives of these people are nothing in the eyes of the other party. Of course, they didn't know what Guo Jing said about how their life compared with the people at the end of other dynasties. There is no way. How can ordinary people have books to read? Even those scholars worked hard to gain fame and rarely understood what happened in previous dynasties. Many people don't even know what dynasties existed before them. But what they know is that Guo Jing said that the Song dynasty has also reached this time. In other words, he wanted to overthrow the Song dynasty and establish a new dynasty? I wonder if this new dynasty will improve their lives? If possible, then they very much hope that Guo Jing can succeed. By the way, I remember there seemed to be news a few days ago that there would be a group of people called the Peace Alliance who would overthrow the Zhao and Song royal families to avenge those who died in the Jingkong disgrace. Moreover, I want to avenge the original General Yu Fei. Is it possible that they are members of the Peace Alliance? Yes, I heard this too. At that time, I felt something was wrong. Someone dared to say that, but now it seems that it is very likely to be true. It would be great if they really had the ability to avenge those who died in General Yu Fei. Yes. People from Lenon City gathered together in groups and whispered. They did not dare to speak loudly for fear that the court would punish them. But they all have the same idea in their hearts, that is, if Guo Jing and the others can really overthrow the current royal family. To avenge those who died in the past, General Yu Fei who died in the past. Then they absolutely support it. You must know that the shame of Jingkong and the murder of General Yu Fei on unfounded charges have already caused them to accumulate a lot of anger. No matter which incident it is, it shows how stupid and unethical the royal family is and how corrupt the current court is. But they are just ordinary people. Even if they are angry, they dare not speak out. But now, someone has stood up and wants to avenge the people who died back then in General Yu Fei. Because they don't know whether the other party will succeed, they dare not directly support them. But in their hearts, they raised their hands feet supported. At this time, Guo Jing's voice sounded again. I know that you will be worried about whether we 120 will fail. But I want to tell you, we will not fail. Because we have the support of a god. A true god. Speaking of this, Guo Jing looked at Subai. Sir Group Leader, I wonder if you can. Guo Jing didn't know how to continue talking. He wanted to ask the group leader if he could show off his skills later. This statement is a bit inappropriate. However, if the group leader does not take action, how can the reputation of the group leader be spread? I will cooperate as you say. Subai looked at Guo Jing and said. He knew what Guo Jing meant. He wanted him to show off. No, it was a bit indecent to say that. It is to make others appear holy. Since this is Guo Jing's request, it wouldn't be good for him to refuse. After all, Guo Jing set the stage for him, and it was not easy for him to dismantle it. Then thank you, Lord Group Leader. Guo Jing was also very excited when he saw the group leader agreeing to him. Other group members were also very emotional. This is their group leader, how considerate of the group members. I know that you don't really believe in the appearance of real gods. But what I want to tell you is that the gods really appeared. After saying that, please look at Subo. Sir, group leader, I'm sorry to trouble you. What's more, it just flies by itself without any tools. Fairy. This is a real fairy. The next moment, Subai flew up amid the stunned eyes of countless people. He didn't even need to use any other means. Everyone shouted loudly, hoping that the god Subai could save them. Lord Immortal, please punish those corrupt officials. A god has really arrived. Behind that peace alliance, there's a real god standing. Subai nodded. As for how to show off his skills, it was very simple. Even flying in a hot air balloon was no different from the methods of gods to ancient people. This god must have seen our suffering, so he came to help us. Those who originally only dared to support him from their hearts now knelt on the ground and saluted respectfully, and no longer hid them. After learning that there is a real god behind Guo Jing. Lord Immortal. Please save us. At this moment, the entire Lenon City was in a sensation. Flying in the air is a very incredible thing, let alone ancient people, even modern people. Not only that, Subai also flew directly around Lenon City, allowing everyone in Lenon City to see him. He wanted the leader of the group to show his hand and show a miracle, so that the people of Lenon City would believe that a god had really come. Chapter 108. With one song, the dynasty changes. Originally, the people of Lenon City only dared to support Guo Jing in their hearts. Because they don't know whether Guo Jing can successfully overthrow the current royal family. If it succeeds, there will be no problem, but if they fail, nothing will happen to them. After all, they only supported in their hearts and did not speak directly. Who knew they supported Guo Jing to succeed in his rebellion? But now, since Guo Jing has a real god behind him, then they don't have to hide it. They were not afraid that the court would cause trouble for them in the future, so they all shouted out their inner thoughts. Just kidding. There is a real god behind this guy. It would be really strange if the rebellion could not succeed even with this. A real god takes action. How can the Zhao and Song royal family resist? No wonder the people of the Peace Alliance were so bold. Not only did they dare to send people to spread the news that they wanted to avenge General Yu Fei and those who died in the first place. He even dared to break into Lenon City directly and loudly said that he wanted to rebel. It turned out to be because there was a god standing behind them. If it were them, with the support of a god, they would definitely be very bold. The people were very happy, but the faces of the corrupt officials were extremely ugly. Including people from the royal family and even the emperor. They never thought that a real god would come, moreover, it is not on their side. Why on earth is this? I am obviously the emperor. Why didn't that god stand on my side? Why did that god choose to help those unruly people? Song Lizong was in a panic. After all, those people from the Peace Alliance came to overthrow their royal family. But you are here to rebel. Moreover, their rebellion actually received the support of a god. This is really the truth that God is going to destroy their Song dynasty. He is obviously the emperor. Why didn't the gods help him? Not only Song Lizong, but other officials were also very panicked. After all, once Song dynasty forgets, their end will definitely not be much better. Which one of them has not had the common people? That God will definitely not let them go. But the question now is, what should they do? Send an army to deal with that god? That is a real god. No matter how many mortals there are, what use are they to him? What's more, they just got the news. Lenon City's imperial army and garrison, most of the soldiers are also national gods. Let these soldiers deal with that god? It is simply impossible. All they can do now is wait to die. Everyone present was the top official of the Song dynasty, and even the emperor. This was the first time that they felt so helpless and helpless. Even the two emperors who suffered the disgrace of Jingkong had never been so helpless. After all, although the Jin kingdom they faced was cruel and powerful, they were still mortals after all. But now he is facing a real god. Because of Subai's appearance, many people gathered around Guo Jing and others. Their eyes looked at Subai with enthusiasm. This scene also made Guo Jing very satisfied. It doesn't matter whether these people are fanatical about him or not, but they must be fanatical about the group leader. Everyone, this god knows that you are living in dire straits, so he came here to help you. Thank you, Lord God. The people around him saluted and shouted to Subai enthusiastically. At this time, their belief in Subai has reached its peak. I said, Sister Xiao Longnu, wait until the time comes when we overthrow the royal family over there. Can you also ask the gods to show their holiness in front of everyone? Just like now? This way we can overthrow it more easily. The middle-aged Guo Jing and Huang Rong looked at the fanatical people around them and whispered to Xiao Longnu. At the same time, I also admire my young self, Brother Jing, for actually thinking of such a trick, allowing the gods to show their holiness in front of everyone, and directly gaining the people's fanatical belief. They know very well that with just one order, these people will break into the palace without hesitation and fire those officials who have bullied them. If they can do this when they rebel, then their rebellion will become much easier. Brother Subai, is it okay? Xiao Longnu did not answer the words of middle-aged Guo Jing and Huang Rong, but looked at Subo aside. Let's see if I'm fine at that time. If I'm fine, then there's no problem. Why? It's just a small favor, it's nothing to Subai. But he didn't know when Xiao Longnu started to rebel, so he didn't know if he had any weight at that time. Even though he is very idle now, maybe something will happen to him in the future. Okay, then I'll wait until Brother Subai is free before taking action. Xiao Longnu nodded and made a decision. You can do it anytime you want, but Brother Subai is not always free. Therefore, she has to wait until Brother Subai is free before taking action. And in the chat group at this time, Garp. I wonder if when I overthrow the Tianlong people, I can also ask the leader of the group to come and show his holiness in front of others. Why? Garp. So that those Tianlong people know that they are not gods, and let them see what the real gods look like. Lu Pijang. Hey, the group leader has already appeared in front of people in my world. Now everyone in our world knows about the group leader. Diya. It's a pity that when brother Subai came to my world before, only Carrot and I knew about it. Diya. I don't know when I will have the opportunity to let everyone in the galaxy know how powerful Subai is. Let the people in the Interstellar Alliance and Galaxy I know what is the existence that truly transcends the universe. Diya. By the way, I heard before that Storm Famila is about to be held. It will be very lively. How about inviting brother Subai to join us? After seeing Guo Jing's operation, other group members also hope to have their group leader show up to the people of their world. Not only can the people in their world know what a true god is, and it can also satisfy their little vanity. This is just like if you know a big star, you will definitely want to bring him or her to appear in front of your family and friends to satisfy your vanity. This is normal. At this time, Guo Jing saw that it was almost done and was ready to move. This Lord God taught me a magical skill. This magical skill can eliminate all those cancers and moths. Guo Jing said, playing his pipa. He plans to use the pipa to play Dongfeng Po again to purify this turbid world. Next, I will play a song on this pipa. As long as you hear the sound of my lute, if you have not done any bad things, nothing will happen to you, and you will even get benefits. As for the benefits, you will experience it yourself when the time comes. But if it is those who have done bad things, or even defrauded the common people, after hearing the sound of the piano, they will choose to commit suicide because of the overwhelming guilt in their hearts. So for a while, you may see people around you commit suicide in front of you. But you must not be nervous or afraid, because these people are all determined to die, and they deserve to die. This is God's method, so you don't need to be afraid at all. Before playing, Guo Jing vaccinated the people around him. If these people can accept it quickly after playing the song, then his experiment will be successful. Next, he can use this method on people in other places. If it doesn't work, then you can only think of other ways. But seeing how enthusiastic the people were, he felt that it should be successful. Master God Envoy, please take action. Lord God Envoy, since this is a method used by the Lord God to help us and get rid of those moths, then we will definitely not have any fear. Master God Envoy, please clear away those moths and give us a bright and prosperous world. After hearing Guo Jing's words, the people around him not only did not panic, but instead urged Guo Jing to take action quickly. As for what they called Guo Jing, in their opinion, Guo Jing was the messenger of the gods, and there was no problem at all in calling him the messenger of gods. They are now ready to experience what God can do. Okay, if that's the case, then I'll take action. Those worms who oppress the people, are you ready? With that said, Guo Jing played Dongfeng Po again. And those fanatical people are ready to listen to the divine voice. As for those who had ulterior motives, they were so panicked that they quickly covered their ears and did not intend to listen to Guo Jing's performance. However, if covering your ears is effective, then it is not worthy of God-level piano skills. The music played with God-level piano skills can not only be heard through the ears. It will also sound directly in my mind. Therefore, covering your ears is of no use at all, unless you commit suicide directly. With the help of Subai, Guo Jing's music soon spread throughout Lenon City. Those who had ulterior motives, including senior officials and members of the royal family, all covered their ears and tried to use this method to escape punishment. Of course, those who are innocent are looking forward to it. When the sound of the piano enters the ears, people who have no ghosts in their hearts suddenly feel that their hearts become refreshed. All the previous worries have disappeared. Moreover, his mind became extremely clear, and his whole person seemed to be sublimated. Is this the method of the Lord God? Is this the benefit that the Lord God Envoy said? I feel great now. Those whose souls have been sublimated all have expressions of enjoyment on their faces. Even those who were originally seriously ill now feel that their illness has improved a lot. Some even recovered directly. God-level piano art has no healing effect, but it can purify a person's mind, which means it can make a person's mentality better. The mentality is also a factor that affects the condition of the disease. With a good attitude, some terminal illnesses that are difficult to cure can even get better. This is not bragging, because this kind of thing has happened many times. For example, some patients have been given death notices by doctors, telling them that they have only 3 months to live. However, because these patients had a good mentality and optimistic personality, not only did they survive for 3 months, but their condition even improved, making doctors call it a medical miracle. Of course, there are also people whose mentality has exploded. They were able to live for 3 months, but now they can live for even 1 month. He didn't even survive, so he died. Therefore, mentality is very important. Psychology can affect physiology. God-level piano skills help those who are sick to improve their mentality, purify their souls, and become better. This also led to an improvement in their physiological condition. Of course, they don't know what the principle is. They just thought it was a miracle, become more fanatical. Of course, as for those guys who prey on the common people, this is not the case at all. After their minds were purified, they felt extremely guilty for what they had done before. Only death can provide relief. Therefore, they chose to commit suicide without hesitation. From the emperor to some local ruffians, they all chose to commit suicide. In other words, Guo Jing only used one song to kill the emperor and many high officials. After accomplishing what many rebels dream of, they can directly change the dynasty. Next, many people saw that the people around them suddenly committed suicide. When they thought of what Guo Jing said before, Zhao Li, they looked at each other's bodies with expressions of disgust, and some even spat directly. Lord God Envoy said before that those who choose to commit suicide are those who have a way to die and deserve to die. So their death requires no sympathy at all. What? Will they change their ways after hearing the sound of Lord God's harp? Is that useful? Everyone, now that I have finished playing the song, the royal family and those officials are all dead. Instead, there was an expression full of disgust and anger. That's not fair to them, Mr. Tien. They remembered the words of the messenger of God, these people deserve to die. Many people even spit directly on the corpse to vent their anger. It seems that his experiment this time worked very well. If the people hate them because of those moths, he was worried that these people would hate their families and regard the surviving royal family members and officials as the worms that oppressed them. If there are no dead people, it means they are not treacherous and evil people, and I hope everyone will not hate them. When the song, Dongfeng Po, was played, many corpses appeared on the street. Guo Jing said to the people around him, maybe they have done some wrong things, but they are far from being considered as moths, and their sins are not worthy of death. When they change their ways, the things they did before will no longer count, right? Seeing this scene, Guo Jing was also very satisfied. If Qin Wei can change his ways, can his murder of General Yu Fei be ignored? It's just that when the people saw these corpses, they didn't have any fear or panic. You can use this method to get rid of all the moths and cancers in the world. But those who can survive after listening to his music mean they are not moths. Chapter 109. It's easier when the group leader is rebelling. The chat group is upgraded. Don't worry, Lord God Envoy. We won't do it. Yes, since they can survive, it means they are not bad people. We won't do anything to them. After hearing Guo Jing's words, the people around him also hurriedly spoke. If it were before, they might still hate Wujiwu and vent their anger on these royal people and officials. But now, after their minds have been purified, they will no longer do this. Okay, then let's go to the palace and have a look. Guo Jing was very curious, wondering how many royal family members and officials had survived. When I arrived at the palace, I found corpses everywhere in the palace. There are the imperial guards, the maids, and the blue ones. In short, there are all kinds of corpses. Of course, the number of these corpses is not very large. But there were too many corpses of officials and members of the royal family. It can be said that among officials and members of the royal family, it is already very good if 1 out of 10 survives. It can be seen how decayed the court has become. Looking at the corpses on the ground, Guo Jing and the people behind him also sighed. It is this kind of people who are leading the Song dynasty. Then how can the people have a good life? Is this the dynasty we live in? Compared with the time of the Jingkong disgrace, there is absolutely no change. Middle-aged Guo Jing and Huang Rong looked at the corpses on the ground with helpless expressions. They thought that they had been stationed in Xiangyang City for so long, and they could say that they had devoted their whole life to protect the border of the Song dynasty. But these guys in the court only know about having fun every day, feeding the common people, and fighting for power. Compared with the Jingkong disgrace 100 years ago, the royal family today has not made any progress. If the Jin kingdom invades again, it will probably be another humiliation for Jingkong. This made them more determined to help Xiao Longnu rebel. It would be better to overthrow this decadent court. Guo Jing, that position is yours now. You can sit on it now. Subai pointed to a chair at the highest point in the court and said to Guo Jing. This chair is exactly the dragon chair. Under the dragon's chair was the body of the unreasonable person who committed suicide. Before he died, he had an expression of shame, ashamed of what he had done before. But it's too late, only death can atone for one's sins. Guo Jing looked at the dragon chair, a chair that countless people dream of. But in his heart, he was very calm and not excited at all. He still couldn't understand why there were so many 007 people keen on power. Even though he can become the new emperor now, he doesn't feel happy in his heart. Because this position has no appeal to him. Of course, there is no one in this world who is more qualified to sit in this position than him. Moreover, in order to establish a new era, he must sit in this position. So Guo Jing walked towards the dragon throne step by step, kicked Song Lizong's body away, and then sat on the dragon throne. And those people under him, as well as the common people, soldiers and others who followed, all knelt on the ground. Meet the emperor. Middle-aged Guo Jing and Huang Rong looked at young Guo Jing with emotional expressions on their faces. They didn't expect that themselves, Brother Jing, in other worlds would actually become the top. Things really are unpredictable, but they were not interested in the emperor's position. And in their world, there is one person who is most qualified to ascend the throne. That was naturally their god sister, Xiao Longnu. They want to assist Xiao Longnu and become the second empress in history. Please don't call me emperor. Although I sit in this position, you can just treat me as a mascot. You are mainly responsible for managing the world. Guo Jing looked at his men and people below and said. Looking at the other party's confused expression, Guo Jing smiled slightly and told them his future plans. For example, he will next eliminate the moths and cancers in the world. Then, he will start to select talents to replace the dead officials as new officials. Of course, among the tens of thousands of people under his command, there must be many talents. They didn't have the opportunity to play before, but now, they have such an opportunity. Moreover, after being baptized by God-level piano skills, there is no need to worry that they will become new moths and cancers. As for himself, he is responsible for being a mascot. If the group leader has any advice, he will issue the order. If nothing happens, he usually won't take care of it. When they heard Guo Jing's plan, the people below and those in the Peace Alliance were very excited. They seemed to have seen the day when people all over the world would live a good life under Guo Jing's leadership. Garp. It's so simple to overthrow a ruler. Lu Pijang. No, this is not simple at all. There was only one person in history who successfully rebelled, and that was Ming Taizong Zhu Di. Lu Pijang. It's just because Guo Jing had the help of the group leader that he was able to overthrow Darong so easily. Although it is very simple for Guo Jing to overthrow the imperial family, he only played one song and it was done. But that was only possible because of the help of the group leader. Moreover, with the help of God-level breathing techniques and God-level cooking skills, Guo Jing and his men are very powerful. But if there is no such thing, if Guo Jing does not join the chat group, then it is simply impossible for him to succeed in rebellion. Therefore, Guo Jing was able to successfully rebel so easily, and it can even be said that it was effortless. The biggest credit belongs to the group leader, Xiao. But then again, is this the true appearance of the group leader? He is indeed extremely handsome. Dagu. Yes, the leader of the group is really handsome, and he can fly in the air at will, which is really awesome. Yuka Nagata. The leader of the group is indeed very handsome. It was the first time for the three newcomers to the group to see Subai's true face. Although the old group members have told them before that their group leader is very handsome. But only after they actually saw him did they realize how handsome he really is. Xiao and Dagu were doing better, while Yuha Nagata looked a little rosy looking at Subai during the live broadcast. Is this our group leader? Not only is he so kind, but he is also so handsome. It's really perfect. Nagata Yuka realized for the first time what it means to feel excited. Such a perfect man is so destructive to women. What's more, this is only seen during the live broadcast. If we could see it in reality, this feeling would definitely be even stronger. Diya. Brother Subai is of course handsome, and he is such a nice person. Butterfly Ninja. Yes, we like brother Subai the most. Guo Jing. Yes, if I were also a girl, I would definitely fall in love with the group leader. Dagu. I remember that I dealt with a monster before, it seemed to be a Kyrioloid. Dagu. They want to make the people of Earth believe in their god Kyriolod. Dagu. But they only want to rule the Earth, and their gods are also false gods. Only gods like the leader of the group are the real gods. They are the gods truly worthy of belief. Dagu was originally an atheist, but now, he has begun to believe in God. And what he believes in is naturally their group leader. A true god, a perfect god. After that, Guo Jing also sent people to spread the news about the destruction of the Song dynasty royal family and the arrival of a real god. The people he sent out before also hurried to Lenon City after completing their mission. Everyone else has already seen Sod, but they have not seen him. They are going to see that god now. In order to celebrate the victory, Guo Jing also bought a lot of ingredients in the mall, showed off his superb cooking skills, and also entertained Subai, Xiao Longnu and others. After everything was over, Subai and others went back. Subai. Guo Jing can be said to be quite busy next. Xiao Longnu. Yes, brother Guo Jing still has to eliminate all the cancers in the world, which is not an easy task. Guo Jing. Well, with the help of the group leader, I can finish it quickly. Guo Jing. But the group leader has helped me a lot. This time I am not relying on myself. Subai. With your current strength, it's still a bit difficult for everyone in the city to hear your performance. Subai. You can buy a few loudspeakers in the mall. With the help of the loudspeakers, your piano sound can cover the entire city. Guo Jing. Amplifier? I understand, thank you group leader for your advice. Guo Jing. However, there is one more thing I am worried about now. Xiao Longnu. What's going on, brother Guo Jing? Guo Jing. If I remove too many cancers, will it have any impact on the world? Guo Jing. The main reason is that many officials are missing all of a sudden, and many things will be put on hold, which will also have an impact on the people. Guo Jing had not considered this issue before, but after the banquet, he discussed it with his master Hong Qigong and some of his subordinates. I found that if too many tumors were removed at once, there would be big problems. For example, now, more than 90% of the officials in Lenon City are dead, many of whom are high-ranking officials. It is not easy to take over their positions, and the quantity is not enough. Although he certainly has many talents under his command, the number of these talents is not comparable to the number of those moths. What's more, it takes time to take office. During this period, what should we do with the functioning of the world? Subai. I see, you are worried about this. Subai. But it's not a big problem. Guo Jing. Please give me some advice from the group leader. Subai. I will give you some dragon slaying skills later. After you let your people learn it, they will be able to take office quickly, even the position of Prime Minister. Subai. As for official positions in other places, you can also directly select them locally, and then teach them the knowledge and let them take office. Subai. What's more, you underestimate officials in other places too much. The smaller the officials are, the more capable they are than those in big places. Even becoming Prime Minister is not a problem. Subai. After being trained, their abilities can be improved to a very terrifying level. At that time, you can take them back to Lenon City and let them occupy some high-ranking official positions. Again, the Song dynasty did not lack talents. Even among officials, there are many talented people. It's just these people Kai is not an official in those big places, let alone a high official. On the contrary, the officials in smaller places are more capable. Just like Bao Zheng, Bao Qingtian, Song Si, the criminal official of the Song dynasty, etc., they were not officials in big places, nor were they high officials. But with their abilities, they can reach a higher position. Even being the Prime Minister is not a problem, but it is because they have seen through the darkness of officialdom that they choose to be officials in small places and make some contributions to the people. It's not because they don't want to contribute to more people. It's because they know they can't do it. The darkness in officialdom cannot be solved by relying on them. But once the darkness of the officialdom is dispelled, the power they can exert will be enormous. Although in Guo Jing's era, people like Bao Zheng and Song Si were already ancients. But who can guarantee that among the officials in small places, there are no people like Bao Zheng and Song Si? As for the problem that Guo Jing was worried about, too many mods dying and not enough manpower, that was not a problem. Just learn some dragon slaying skills. In those historical novels, the protagonist travels from modern times to ancient times. Isn't it just to use modern knowledge to shock the emperor, thinking that their talent is enough to make him a prince or prime minister? If the ancients could learn some modern knowledge, they could still do it. Modern knowledge may be just common sense to modern people, knowing it is of no use and cannot turn them into talents. But for the ancients, it was a dimensionality reduction attack. They can be trained into useful talents. Anyone with a little brain can become a talent after learning modern knowledge. Guo Jing. Then I'll trouble you, the group leader. Subai. Yeah. Later, Subai sent some modern knowledge to Guo Jing, which amazed Guo Jing. He believes that as long as other people learn this knowledge, managing the world will not be a problem at all. The issue of manpower is no longer an issue. Because of this knowledge, it is possible to cultivate a large number of outstanding talents to manage the world and let the people live a happy and beautiful life. Ding. The activity level of the chat group has reached the standard, the number of people has reached the standard, and the number of completed tasks has reached the standard. The chat group is being upgraded. At this time, 2 group messages appeared. Seeing these 2 group messages, all group members, including Subai, were brightened. They knew before that the chat group could definitely be upgraded, but they never knew how to upgrade. But now they know that 3 conditions need to be met. The activity level must meet the standard, that is, the group cannot be deserted and needs someone to chat with. The number of people reaches the standard, which means that the number of members in the chat group must be sufficient. The number of completed tasks reaches the target, which means that some tasks need to be completed. Now, these 3 conditions are met, and the chat group can finally be upgraded. Chapter 110. Version update of God-level skills. New version of God-level breathing method. Garp. Great. The chat group can finally be upgraded. Butterfly Ninja. Yes, I have been joining the chat group for so long, and I can finally upgrade. Diya. No wonder the chat group has not been upgraded before. It turns out that it is because there are not enough people, the activity is not enough, and the number of tasks completed is not enough. Lu Pijang. Maybe these 3 conditions have been met before, but because the remaining conditions are not met, the upgrade cannot be made. Subai. Anyway, now that the chat group has been upgraded, the mall should also be upgraded. If the mall can be upgraded, then he can upload higher versions of God-level breathing techniques, God-level cooking skills, and God-level piano skills. You can also take a look at what good things will come out if the exclusive mall is upgraded. Ding. The chat group has been upgraded successfully, all functions have been upgraded. Turn on the sign-in function. Soon, the chat group was upgraded. After the upgrade, all functions of the chat group have been upgraded. For example, in the redemption function, the same thing can now be redeemed for more points. For example, with the time travel function, the maximum number of people that could time travel was 100 people, which means that a group member can take up to 99 people to travel to other worlds. And now the number has become 500. Of course, because no group member has ever taken so many people through time together, they didn't know that this function had a limit on the number of people. For example, with the mission function, the rewards after publishing the mission are now more generous. As long as you can complete the task, you can get more rewards. The mall has naturally been upgraded, with more items appearing, but the prices are also more expensive. The most important thing is that Bai can finally upload a higher version of his magical skills. With the newly launched sign-in function, group members can sign in every day to earn points. But how many points you can get depends entirely on your luck. And if you accumulate the number of days you sign in, you can also get a critical hit. Not only can you sign in more points, you can even have a chance to sign in for products in the mall. It can be said that the emergence of the check-in function also provides group members with an additional channel to obtain points. Subai took a look at the exclusive mall. The exclusive mall has also been upgraded, and more advanced things have appeared. This includes transformations from Super 1 to Super 3. Yes, Saiyan Bloodline and Saiyan Transformation are separate. It does not mean that if you buy Saiyan Bloodline, you will be able to transform into Saiyan. You need to purchase additional ones. But Subai was not surprised at all, because it does not mean that as long as you have Saiyan blood, you will be able to transform into a Saiyan. Although Saiyan's transformation can be said to be bad now, as long as he is a Saiyan, he will change. But in fact, only Son Goku, Vegeta and other demi-humans can change. Their descendants are also cultivated by them. As for Little Trunks and Son Goten, that's because their parents were already able to transform when they were born. So they are naturally more prone to becoming Super Saiyan than regular Saiyan. But for Saiyan, the transformation of Super Saiyan is still not that easy. Otherwise, Saiyan from the 6th universe would have been able to transform long ago. Caulifla doesn't have to ask Son Goku and the others to teach her how to transform. Therefore, it is completely normal for Saiyan Bloodline and Saiyan Transformation to be separated. Of course, for Subai, his order is completely reversed from that of other Saiyans. For other Saiyans, they become Saiyan first, and then they can make changes. As for Subai, it was he who mastered Saiyan's transformation, and then obtained the Saiyan bloodline. Therefore, the Super 1 to Super 3 transformations in the exclusive mall are of no use to Subai. After all, even the chat group didn't expect that Yin Bai would have such an incredible understanding. If not, then Subai still needs to earn points to purchase Saiyan's transformation. After all, if you only have Saiyan blood without transformation, then Saiyan blood is actually of little use. The power of the Saiyan bloodline lies in its ability to transform. But now, Subai has already mastered Saiyan's transformation, even all the transformations from Super 1 to Super 5. So naturally he doesn't need to buy it, saving a lot of points. And it's not just that you don't need to buy the transformations from Super 1 to Super 3. Even if the exclusive mall is upgraded later, stronger Super 4 and Super 5 transformations will appear. He doesn't need to buy either. The points saved are an astronomical figure. After all, Saiyan transformation is much more expensive than Saiyan blood. Even if he could get a 10% discount, it would still be an astronomical figure. It seems that it is not easy for others to obtain Saiyan blood and undergo Saiyan transformation. Just a Saiyan bloodline is not that easy for them to obtain. All the members in the group want to obtain Saiyan blood and transform. But for them, it's a little too difficult. After all, the points accumulated by the two are definitely an astronomical figure for them. There are even some group members who can't put together the entire world even if they spend all their money. For example, Guo Jing, Xiao Longnu, Butterfly Ninja and other group members. Even if they emptied all the resources on the earth, they might not be able to collect the points to buy Saiyan bloodline and Saiyan transformation. Of course, there is actually a secret to Saiyan's transformation. If they wait until they obtain the Saiyan bloodline, they can be taught this secret to save their points. But only the Super transformation has the secret. Later, Super 2, Super 3, and even Super 3, Super 4, and Super 5 transformed. It is not so easy for them to transform, but this is all for later. They haven't even acquired the Saiyan bloodline yet, so it's a bit too early to think about transformation. After understanding the changes after the chat group upgrade, Subai uploaded higher-level god-level breathing techniques, god-level cooking skills, and god-level piano skills to the mall, and gained another amount of points. He now has tens of millions of points. Coupled with his privilege as the group leader, he can purchase products with hundreds of millions of points in the mall. Later, he bought all the new techniques, moves, skills, etc. that appeared after the mall was upgraded. After strengthening, then weakening, and then uploading. Got another point. It's just that he has nothing to buy right now. Moreover, he now has many fancy moves and skills. It's just that he has never used it, and he doesn't want to use it. After all, Dao although these fancy moves and skills are indeed very powerful, they also consume a lot of energy. In comparison, the simplest and most direct energy in the Dragon Ball world is better for Todoroki. Subai. The mall has been upgraded now, and I have also updated the versions of the god-level skills such as god-level breathing, god-level cooking skills, and god-level piano skills. Subai. If you have this ability, you can buy the new version. Garp. Great. I can finally buy the new version of the god-level breathing method. One Piece World. Garp was sitting on a small boat with a very excited expression. The boat he took was very small, it could be said to be a small wooden boat. There's nothing on it either. It's not that he couldn't get a higher-end ship, but because he converted all the treasures he got into points. During this time, he traveled across the sea and killed many pirates. Not only did he take away all their treasures, but he also took them to various naval branches in exchange for bounties. This also surprised the navies of various naval branches. How could their naval hero, Vice Admiral Mr. Garp of the naval headquarters, become a bounty hunter? After doing this series of things, Garp has accumulated hundreds of thousands of points now. He was waiting for when the version of the God-level breathing method would be updated, and then purchased it. After all, although he is still improving his strength every time he breathes, his speed is much slower than at the beginning. His current strength is at the 5-star level, and it has only been a few months since he obtained the God-level breathing method. But his strength has improved from the low 5-star at the beginning to the high 5-star, which is already very fast. But Garp also discovered that the weakest version of the God-level breathing method is no longer so effective. You must know that it only took a few days for him to be promoted from a low 5-star to a medium 5-star. It took several months to be promoted from 5 stars to 5 stars. If you want to upgrade from 5-star to 6-star level, it will take at least 1 year. However, it can also be seen from this that the higher the star rating, the more difficult it is to achieve a breakthrough in strength. Let alone a breakthrough in a big realm, even a breakthrough in a small realm is not that easy. If he hadn't learned the God-level breathing method, he probably wouldn't have been able to improve his strength to a 5-star level in his lifetime. Not to mention 5 stars, but since he now has hope to become stronger, he will naturally choose to do so. In fact, it doesn't matter if it takes a year to upgrade from 5-star to 6-star level. Zero, please ask for flowers. It can even be said that this speed is already very fast. After all, 5 stars are the strength that explodes the country, and 6 stars are the strength that explodes the surface of the earth. The surface exploding strength can already destroy planets like the moon. The gap between this can be said to be very huge. It only takes 1 year to reach this level of strength, which is already very fast. If the God-level breathing method he learned is already the highest version, then Garp is naturally very satisfied. But his God-level breathing method is the weakest version. There is also a stronger version of the God-level breathing method. Then he is not very satisfied. There is no way, people's greed cannot be controlled. It's like when a person has a monthly salary of 3,000, he hopes that he can earn 5,000 a month. When my monthly salary reaches 5,000, I hope my monthly salary will be 8,000, then 10,000, or 20,000. This is human greed and desire. And now, a higher version of the God-level breathing method has finally appeared. Of course, Garp wouldn't miss it. If he had a higher version of the God-level breathing method, it would also shorten the time for him to reach 6-star strength. When his strength reaches 6 stars, it will be time to overthrow the Tianlong people. Although the Tianlong people are very powerful, even Lord I Am behind the 5 old stars is even more mysterious and powerful. But Garp believed that Lord I Am's strength did not reach 6 stars. Otherwise, the Tianlong people will definitely become more arrogant. It is estimated that with his current strength, he can already overthrow the Tianlong people. Zero, but to be on the safe side, let's wait until his strength reaches the 6-star level. Garp opened them all with anticipation and nervousness, wanting to take a look at how many points the new version of neurobreathing is worth. The next moment, he sighed and shook his head. It's a price he can't afford now. The new version of God-level breathing method, worth 1 million points. The weakest version of the God-level breathing method is worth 100,000 points, and now the price of the new version of the God-level breathing method has increased 10 times. It is worth 1 million. Of course, Impu doesn't think the new version of the God-level breathing method is too expensive at all. Because he knows that 1 million points is definitely worth every penny. It's his own fault that he can't afford it, not the reason why the God-level breathing method is too expensive. Garp. Although a new version of the God-level breathing method has appeared, I can't afford it yet. Oga Tatsumi. Yes, the price is 10 times higher than the previous version of the God-level breathing method. Lu Pijang. But it is expensive for a reason. The new version of the God-level breathing method will definitely allow us to improve our strength faster. Duan Muyan. If I can get a new version of the God-level breathing method, wouldn't it be closer to the day when I can physically fight monsters? Duan Muyan has always had a dream, that is, he can defeat Oxer without summoning armor. After obtaining the God-level breathing technique, his strength improved every day, but he had never tried it. But if he can get a new version of the God-level breathing method, he can give it a try. Shinan. Yes, I think so too. Xiaoshan. Actually, I am the same. Good guy. Subai was also happy to see that the 3 heroes of armor had the same idea. It seems that every armor summoner has a desire to fight monsters physically. However, apart from Xiaoshan, Shinan and Duanmuyan should have this strength. Subai. At Zhongnan, at Duanmuyan, what is your current strength? Shinan. Lord Group Leader, my current strength is among the 3 stars. Duanmuyan. My strength lies in Samsung. Subai. Then with your current strength, it shouldn't be a big problem if you want to fight monsters physically. Subai. Unless you encounter the final boss, you can now deal with those supernatural beasts and Oxer without summoning armor. You must know that 3-star level strength is street level strength. Among the supernatural beasts and Oxels, not many have this kind of strength. Even from the perspective of expressiveness, those supernatural beasts and Oxer do not even have the strength to explode buildings. Even if they don't show it. But those ordinary supernatural beasts and Oxer definitely do not have 3-star level strength. Therefore, with the current strength of Shinan and Duanmuyan, there should be no problem in physically fighting some ordinary supernatural beasts and oxer. Moreover, when their strength becomes stronger, the armor will become a strength limiter for them. Ads by Bid Gear Chapter 111 Xiaoshan, do you want to be King Ares? Duanmuyan. Since the group leader has said so, I can give it a try. Shinan. Well, I can try it too. Seeing what the group leader said, the two of them were eager to give it a try. I really want to experience what it feels like to fight monsters physically. Subai. But you should still deal with those ordinary oxers and supernatural beasts physically. 17. Subai. You guys should still be unable to defeat leaders like the 5 Dark Protectors, or existences like the King of Oxel and the God of Oxel. Subai. When you become stronger, you should be able to do it, but at least it must be at your 6-star level. Subai didn't know how strong the villains among the armored warriors were, including armor. The settings are not clearly stated and there is no expressiveness. The only one with explosive star performance is Utales among Nava. Duanmuyan used Utales to kill the universe bug, which was larger than the Earth. As for the Emperor and Shira, judging from their expressiveness, they are not even at street level. It's not even at the level of building explosions. But judging from the settings, these two pairs of ultimate armors should also have star level strength. The villains they defeated should give them a face and have a strength of about 6 stars. Therefore, if Shinan, Xiaoshan and Duanmuyan want to fight those cadres physically, or even the final boss, they must at least have 6-star level strength. Even the universe explosive bug that Duanmuyan has to deal with in the end requires a 7-star explosive star strength. But for those ordinary supernatural beasts, Nether Demon or Oxer, 3-star level strength should be enough. What? For 790, why is there such a big gap in strength between ordinary armor and ultimate armor, ordinary soldiers and big villains? This is actually quite normal. The strength gap between Frieza's men and him was even greater. Duanmuyan. In this case, to be on the safe side, I still plan to wait until I get a new version of the god-level breathing method and gain stronger strength before trying it again. Shinan. Me too. Although the new version of the god-level breathing method is very expensive, there is funding behind them. The previous funding of 100,000 points was a drop in the bucket to those who funded them. So now 1 million points is nothing to the people who sponsor them, which is just 10 hairs. What's more, in addition to someone sponsoring them, they themselves will also find ways to earn points. Xiaoshan. You can all get the new version of the god-level breathing method. My current god-level breathing method is still funded by the group leader. Xiaoshan. I don't know when I will get the new version of the god-level breathing method. Dagu. Yes, and you are all talking about fighting monsters physically. It may be very simple for you, but it is too difficult for me. Dagu. I guess I need at least a 7-star level of strength to be able to fight monsters physically. Watching Shin Nan and Duanmuyan, the 2 armor summoners, talking about fighting monsters physically. It made Daji Yu feel itchy, and wanted to try what it felt like to fight monsters with his own body. But the problem is that what he faces are monsters that are tens of meters tall and weigh tens of thousands of tons. I want to physically deal with these monsters without transforming into Ultraman Tiga. It is estimated that it must be at least a 7-star level of strength. Or 6 stars. But with his current strength, it is definitely impossible to do it, and he still needs to transform into Ultraman Tiga. If you can get a new version of the god-level breathing method, you can shorten this time. But the problem is, he can't afford it. Even the weakest version of the god-level breathing method was funded by the group leader. Is it possible that the group leader needs to support him again? He's not that shameless. Nagata Yuka. I'm okay, it's enough that I have the current god-level breathing method. As for the new version of the god-level breathing method, it's okay if I don't have it. She is not that enthusiastic about improving her strength. Just have the ability to protect yourself. And even the weakest version of the god-level breathing method can give her enough power to protect herself. Garp. Anyway, everyone, we still have to continue working hard to earn points. Subai. Yeah, just keep working hard. Subai, of course, if it doesn't work, just ask me for help. Butterfly Ninja. Brother Subai, I know you think about us, but we would be embarrassed if we keep asking you for help. Diya. Yes, Brother Subai, I can't trouble you every time, I can also help. Diya. If you really can't get more points, then welcome to my world. My world is still very rich in resources. Alu. Me too, although my world's resources are definitely not as many as those of Diya's world. Alu. But there is no problem in meeting your current needs. When it comes to whose world has the most resources, apart from the world where the group leader lives, the world where Diya lives has the most. This is something they all know, because the world where Diya lives has entered the interstellar age. Even the world where Daji Yu lives can navigate the universe, but it cannot spread its footprints all over the galaxy like the world where Diya lives, and it has also developed countless planets. In addition, the world where Ahu is located is also very rich in resources. Although the world he is in is also on the Earth, it is the same Earth with different resources. The most abundant resource in Alu world is a variety of ingredients. Therefore, they are also very generous in inviting other group members to come together to obtain the resources of their world. Of course, other group members think the same way. Unless there is really no way to obtain any resources, they must first obtain all the resources in their own world, and then go to other worlds to obtain resources. Subai. I won't talk about the others, I have already given them some guidance. Subai. As for the 3 newcomers, it's not impossible for you to earn points. Seeing what Subai said, the old group members became interested. They knew that the group leader must be giving guidance again. They can earn points only because of the group leader's guidance. They have all received guidance from the group leader, but the 3 new members who have joined the group have not. Therefore, the group leader also needs to give them some guidance. Subai. For example, Xiaoshan, although your teammate Xiaofei does not have the ability to support you, there is someone who does. Xiaoshan. Lord Group Leader, can you tell me who he is? Xiaoshan was very curious. After all, among the people he knew, Xiaofei was the richest. But even Xiaofei doesn't have the ability to help him. Who else has this ability? Subai. It's very simple, this person is Amisho. Xiaoshan. Amisho? He is indeed a manager of Bawang Group, but he is not as rich as Xiaofei. How can he support me? Amisho and he used to be friends, and Yuzi used to work under him. So he naturally knew what Amisho did. But what puzzles Xiaoshan is that although Amisho is a manager of Bawang Group, he is still considered a junior middle-level manager. But he is definitely not as rich as Xiaofei, a second-generation rich man. Even Xiaofei doesn't have the ability to support him, so why would the group leader say that Amisho has this ability? But Xiaoshan knew that since the group leader said so, he must have a reason. He just needs to wait for the group leader's answer. Subai. It is true that Amisho does not have this ability now, but in fact he still has an identity. Xiaoshan. What the leader of the group means is that he is the captain of the Netherworld Demon. Subai. Not only that, he also has an identity, that is, he is Lufa's son. Xiaoshan. What? Amisho is actually Lufa's son. Xiaoshan was shocked. He only knew that Amisho was not an ordinary Nether Demon, but the captain of the Nether Demon, and was much stronger than the Nether Demon. But he never knew that Amisho would be Lufa's son. Subai. And now, Lufa is possessed by Ba Dong, the chairman of Bawang Group. Subai. So to put it this way, Amisho is actually the crown prince of Bawang Group now. Subai. You can definitely contact Amisho and ask him to find Lufa to become the chairman of Bawang Group. Lufa will definitely agree. Subai. When the time comes, you can let him support you. Xiaoshan. Is that so? But Amisho probably won't agree to fund me. Xiaoshan. And Lufa will also be suspicious of him. Subai. Don't worry, even if Lufa has doubts about him, it doesn't matter even if he knows that he is connected with you. Subai. Although Lufa did many evil things, he still loved his son very much. Although Lufa did many evil things, he did not value or dote on his son Amisho very much. Even if Amisho is not his biological son. 0. He is very tolerant towards Amisho. Even if Amisho has been resisting him, he still has a father-son affection for Amisho. In the original work, Emperor Yan asked Lufa to kill Amisho, otherwise he would not give him the fragments surrounding the Vajra. Lufa pretended to deal with Amisho, but secretly told him to run away. After knowing that Emperor Yan killed Amisho, Lufa was also very sad. It can be said that Lufa is indeed not a good person, but his feelings for Amisho are true. That was the only tenderness and kindness left in his heart, which he gave to his son. Therefore, even if he knows that Amisho is connected with Xiaoshan, even if he knows that Amisho uses the financial resources of Bawang Group to fund Xiaoshan, he won't care either. He would even feel confused and depressed. Why would an MI cultivator support Xiaoshan? Shouldn't he help Xiaoshan deal with him? Why did it turn into using wealth to support Xiaoshan? Without knowing the truth, Lufa would not mind Amisho using Bawang Group's wealth to fund Xiaoshan at all. After all, in his opinion, and Mixayu's funding of Xiaoshan would only make Xiaoshan rich. What is the use? He might even feel relieved that Amisho finally didn't do anything to betray the Netherworld Demon anymore. Compared with what Amisho did before, using his wealth to support Xiaoshan was nothing. Xiaoshan. But, how can I convince Amisho to support me? Xiaoshan. He will definitely ask about the reason. What should I say? Is it possible that I should tell him about the chat group? To be honest, he didn't want to do it. Even though he was once friends with Amisho, he was a Nether Demon after all. He didn't want to tell the other party about the chat group. Subai. It's very simple. You can tell him that if he helps you, you can help him live on Earth with peace of mind. Subai. Besides, even returning to Ares is not impossible. Subai. When you become stronger in the future, let alone deal with Lufa, even if you want to become the new king of Ares planet, it won't be a problem. Subai. Then the resources of the entire galaxy will be yours. Subai. And the wanted order against Amisho and the others can also be removed. So do you want to become the new king Ares? Diya. Brother Subai, is this Ares planet like the interstellar alliance of my world? Diya. And the king of Ares planet is equivalent to the leader of the interstellar alliance? Subai. Well, you can think so. Diya. Then the world where brother Xiaoshan lives is no less rich in resources than the world where I live. Subai. Strictly speaking, that's true. Whether it is the Star Travels world or the Xingtian world, the worldview is that of the Milky Way. Therefore, the resource richness between the two is actually about the same. It can even be said that the worldview of Xingtian's world is larger. Because above King Ares, there is also a King of Universe. The Zhengdang Vajra is made from the treasure given by the King of the Universe. As for why Zheng made the Vajra, it was made from scraps from the Emperor's throne. This is completely the setting for armored warriors to follow. At least in the world of Xingtian, there is no such setting. Diya. Brother Xiaoshan, you can definitely become the new King of Ares. By then, the resources of the entire galaxy will be yours, and you will not be short of points. Guo Jing. Indeed, you can completely overthrow Ares like me. Guo Jing. Of course, if he is a good king, then I think it is better not to do this. Subai. Don't worry, he is not a good king, he is almost the same as the emperor in your world. Subai. Otherwise, Lufa and the others wouldn't have rebelled in the first place. The current king of Ares, King Pier, Subai remembers that he was not a good king. Because in the finale, he stepped down due to corruption. He had listened to the slander and thought that Lufa was going to rebel, so he turned Lufa, the original hero of Ares, into a wanted criminal, leading to Lufa's darkening. If he could trust Lufa in the first place, would Lufa still turn black? Most likely not. After all, even Emperor Yan said that Lufa once had the strongest righteousness in the entire galaxy. In other words, he is completely righteous and will not do anything like rebellion. The reason why he turned black and chose to seize the energy crystal to rebel was completely forced by King Peel. Chapter 112. The monster itself is also a kind of food. Just like the reason why Guo Jing was persuaded to rebel was entirely because the emperor was a coward. Otherwise, with Guo Jing's character, no matter what Subai said, he might not be able to convince him to rebel. Moreover, if he was a good emperor, Subai would not persuade Guo Jing to rebel. In fact, Subai didn't think there was anything wrong with Lu Fa's choice to rebel. Facing a foolish king who listens to slander, if you don't choose to rebel, you will only die. Definitely have to give it a try, but his approach was a bit too extreme, and he chose to seize the energy crystal. But this is also because of the problem of universe law. Because the universe law stipulates that whoever can obtain energy crystals from more than half of the life planets in the galaxy can become the new King Ares. That's why Lufa used this method to capture energy crystals everywhere. If the person who joins the chat group has not yet found a way to capture the energy crystal, then he can be like Guo Jing and directly rely on chat groups to improve himself and his subordinate's strength. When the time comes, directly use force to overthrow King Peel and become the new King Ares. All I can say is that it is a pity, but if Xiaoshan wants to become the new King Ares, then there is no need to adopt such cruel methods. He can completely overthrow King Peel by force. Therefore, Subai also asked a similar question that he had asked Xiao Longnu before. That is to ask Xiaoshan, does he want to become King Ares? There is no rule saying that King Ares cannot be held by an earthling. Even if there is such a rule, in the face of strong strength, any rules are nothing more than decoration. Xiaoshan. I become King Ares? Seeing the group leader asking him this, Xiaoshan was also a little confused. He had never thought about such a problem. All he is thinking about now is how to eliminate Lufa and the other ghost demons again and protect the Earth. But I never thought about becoming King Ares. He even didn't know much about the planet Ares. Xiao Longnu. Brother Subai also asked me this question before, asking me if I wanted to become the Empress. Xiao Longnu. I chose to do it, because only by becoming the Empress can the people of the world live a happy life. Guo Jing. Well, Xiaoshan, you have seen it, the scene of my rebellion. Guo Jing. If it weren't for the fact that the current emperor is too incompetent and stupid, I would not choose to rebel, and I believe that the leader of the group would not let me rebel. Diya. Indeed, since Brother Subai asked Brother Xiaoshan to become the new King Ares, it means that the current King Ares is not a good master. Diya. If you can become the new King Ares, not only can you control the resources of the entire galaxy, but you can also make the galaxy a better place. Subai. Well, the reason why Lufa betrayed Ares and wanted to seize the energy crystal of the Earth was because the current King Ares listened to the slander and thought that Lufa was going to betray him. Subai. But actually Lufa didn't think about betrayal at that time, but King Pier directly made him a wanted criminal and wanted to kill him. Subai. There is no other way. Lufa can only choose to betray and seize the energy crystal at the same time to overthrow King Peel. Lu Pijang. So, this Lufa is a hateful person and there is something pitiable about him. Subai. You can say that. Subai. So, if you, Xiaoshan, become the new King Ares, then things like Lufa will not happen in the future. Although after King Peel stepped down, a new King Ares appeared. But who can guarantee that this new King Ares will not become the next King Peel? Will nothing like Lufa happen again? Only when Xiaoshan becomes the new King Ares can such a thing be prevented from happening. Because he believed that Xiaoshan would not become a king like King Pierre. Xiaoshan. I haven't thought about it that way. Xiao, becoming the new King Ares? It doesn't seem impossible. If he becomes the new King Ares, then the Earth will become safer, and he will be able to protect the Earth better. And it can also lead to rapid development of the Earth. You must know that Ares' technology has begun to be much more advanced than that of Earth. From this point of view, there are many benefits to becoming King Ares. I have to say, he was moved. The key is that after becoming King Ares, Amisho, Xiao Shefe and the like nether demons will no longer be wanted criminals, and they can live an ordinary life. Although he had sealed Amisho once, he still regarded Amisho as a friend in his heart. Because the other party is indeed very different from the other cruel nether demons. If it could save him, he would still do it. So, after thinking for a while, Xiaoshan's eyes and expression became firm. Xiaoshan. Okay. Just as the group leader said, I want to become the new King Ares to better protect the Earth and prevent Lufa's incident from happening again. Xiaoshan feels like becoming the new King Ares. Whether it's for the Earth, for points, or for an MI to cultivate them. Becoming King Ares is the best choice at the moment. Subai. Very good, now that you have made a decision, the first step is to obtain funding from Amisho. Subai. Besides, as long as you can keep in touch with Amisho, any misunderstanding between you can be resolved quickly. Why did Amisho turn black in the end? It was because he mistakenly thought that Xiaoshan killed his friend. Originally, he had persuaded those nether demons to leave the Nether Demon Legion together and not do anything for Lu Fa. But because he saw that Xingtian armor killed them, and Misho thought it was Xiaoshan who did it. He was completely disappointed with the people on Earth and chose to return to the Nether Demon Legion. But if he could contact Xiaoshan at that time, the misunderstanding would be resolved. Therefore, it is still very important to keep in touch and communicate. Unfortunately, in the second part, the contact and communication between Xiaoshan and Amisho were much less, resulting in misunderstandings between them that could not be resolved in time. But as long as they can maintain contact and communication, Lufa's plan to frame the situation will not succeed. Xiaoshan. I understand, I will contact Amisho. He has the contact information of Amisho, but because of some things that happened before, he has not taken the initiative to contact the other party. But now, since I have decided to get funding from the other party, I have to choose to save the other party. Then he must take the initiative to contact the other party. Subai. As for Dagu, it's basically difficult for you to get funding. Subai. Unless you become the director of TPC yourself, then you can call on all the resources of TPC. But Subai also knew that Yin Jiyu would definitely not be willing. Dagu. Lord Group Leader, is there any other way? I don't want to be the director of TPC. Sure enough, when Subai said this, Dagu was not very willing. On the one hand, he really has no desire to be a director. On the other hand, TPC's current director is a very good director. In Dagu's opinion, he is the best director. How could I possibly overthrow such a good director? Subai. I also know you won't because the current director of TPC is a very good director. Dagu. Yeah, Dagu was also very happy to see Subai become director. It can be praised by all the group leaders. This shows how excellent their TPC director is. In fact, the director of TPC in the ancient times was indeed a very good director. It can even be said that he is the best director. None of the future directors are as good as him. He single-handedly persuaded all countries to lay down their weapons, and also established the TPC, a local peace organization. If it weren't for the appearance of monsters, the ancient world would indeed be very peaceful. You must know that when Golzon and Melba first appeared, the planes driven by Dagu had no weapons, only smoke bombs at most. Just because I saw the appearance of monsters, I started to equip weapons in order to deal with them. It can be said that Director Sawai is a respectable director. Subai said that making Dagu the director was just a way. But this method was something he didn't want Datong to choose. And he also knew that Dagu would not choose. Subai. It's not possible to ask Director Sawai to sponsor you. Even if he is willing, other TPC senior executives will not be willing, and you will also be in danger, although these dangers are nothing. Subai. But when some monsters appear, aren't they also accompanied by something, such as a universe spaceship? Subai. You can exchange these alien things for points. Subai. If possible, you can even exchange the monster's corpse for points. After all, the monster's corpse should also be regarded as a kind of food. Seeing Subai say this, the corners of Yin Tung's mouth twitched slightly. Good guy, this was the first time he saw someone actually using those monsters as food. Is this the leader of the group? This idea is indeed different from that of mortals like them. But then again, although those monsters are aliens, they seem to be no different from animals in essence. Since animals can be used as food, why not monsters? To put it harshly, humans are actually a kind of food in front of some monsters or animals. And how many points can be exchanged for such a big monster? There should be quite a few. Thinking about it this way, Dagu felt that it was a pity. Why didn't he join the chat group earlier? In this way, those monsters that were dealt with before can be exchanged for points. After doing this calculation, how many points did he lose? He can't do this anymore, he has to exchange those monsters for points in the future. Of course, if it were those kind-hearted monsters, then he would naturally not attack. Alu. The leader of the group is right, although the monsters in the ancient world are all very tall and scary. Alu. But it's essentially a kind of food, I just don't know how it tastes. As a big foodie, Alu is very curious about the taste of the monsters in the ancient world. Would love to taste it. Dagu. When a monster appears next time, I will deal with it and exchange it for points, and you can make purchases and enjoy the experience. Dagu. Actually, I'm also very curious. After fighting monsters for so long, I still don't know what the monster tastes like. Duan Muyan. It's a pity, those oxers are all human beings, we can't use them as food. Shinan. Then can I also use those supernatural beasts as ingredients and exchange them for points? Shin Nan. Anyway, those supernatural beasts are also aliens. Since they are aliens, even if they are regarded as, there will be no psychological burden on the ingredients. Xiaoshan. Those nether demons are also alien 567, but I don't think they can be redeemed as points. Subai. Actually, after you defeat them, you can exchange their genetic codes for points. Subai. Although you may not be able to redeem many points, you can still redeem some. Subai. And when Lufa and the others escaped from Ares, they took a spaceship named Alphas. This Alphas is a super battleship of the planet Ares. You can also redeem a lot of points. Subai. It can even be said that if you redeem this battleship, you will get more points than the entire Bawang group can fund you. Xiaoshan. That's it. Lords of the group, where is this Alphas? Subai. Do you know the demon suppression tower? Xiaoshan. I know. Subai. Actually, that demon suppressing tower is a shoe. Subai. When Lufa and the others first came to Earth, the spaceship landed there. After they were defeated, the ancestors who welcomed them built the demon suppression tower and hid the Alphas. Subai still remembers that he was shocked when he saw this scene. After all, Yuzi and Xing Zizai, the ancestors of the three of them, spent 20 years building the demon suppression tower. You must know that in ancient times 1,000 years ago, it only took 3 people 20 years to build the demon suppression tower, and even built the statues of the nether demons, and the demon suppression tower. There are other secrets inside. It can only be said that the wisdom and labor ability of the ancients are really far beyond the imagination of modern people. Xiaoshan. So, even if I don't need an Mixayu's funding, it's okay? Subai. Indeed, as long as you exchange the Alpha's ship for points, you can get a lot of points. Subai. But the Ba Wang group is your enemy's territory. Don't you feel more comfortable using the enemy's things to help you become stronger? Xiaoshan. It seems, that is indeed the case. Xiaoshan. Then I will wait until I finish harvesting the Ba Wang group and then exchange the Alphas for points. Dagu. So, I can also redeem the universe spacecraft that the aliens took when they came to the Earth into points. Subai. Yes, as I said before, you can also exchange those alien things for points. Subai. Of course, you still have to be careful, after all, it would be bad if others discovered it. Dagu. Well, I will be careful, as a member of the victory team, they are the first to take action if something strange appears. So he would also be the first person to come into contact with something alien. In the past, TPC would take these things back to study. But after repeated research, nothing was found, it's better to exchange it for points. Chapter 113 Zeno invites Lolita and Royal Sister Angel. Subai. As for Yuehua, your method is actually similar to Xiaoshan's. Subai. Then you become the president of Smart Brain. Subai. This is a powerful company. If you can become the president, you can use a lot of resources to support yourself. This company is very famous in the world of Kamen Rider 555. Not only is it a well-known company on the surface, it has many products. Moreover, it is also the research and development company of belts such as Faiz and Caesar. At the same time, he also has a great relationship with Ifa Enoch. Therefore, as long as Nagata Yuka can become the president of this company, then she can fund herself, and the strength of this company is much stronger than the Tianhu group in Nava World, and much stronger than Baimiao's company. It can be said that as long as Nagata Yuka can become the president, her points will not be inexhaustible, at least they will not be lacking in a short time. Anyway, it will definitely not be inferior to Duanmuyan. As for Shinan, if he only had Baimiao's funding, he would definitely not be as good as Nagata Yuka becoming the president. But he is still funded by the people behind Meijun, so it's hard to say. But the premise is that Yuka Nagata is willing to become the president. Moreover, although this company is very strong, it is not difficult to become the president. In the original work, Kiba Yuji became the president of this company after his darkening. Therefore, if you want to become the president of this company, all you need to do is become a black man, or become the attacking Ifa Enoch. Of course Nagata Yuka would not choose either. If you want to become the president, just kill the current president and conquer the other high-level officials of Ifa Enoch. Powerful force is definitely the most effective way to gain power and stand at the top. Yuka Nagata. Well, I'd better forget it. Yuka Nagata. I'm not that keen on getting stronger and gaining points. However, Nagata Yuka was not interested. She herself is a relatively salty person. As long as you have the ability to protect yourself, you will be fine. Therefore, she was very satisfied if she could obtain the weakest version of the god-level breathing method. Subai. That's fine. Since this is your choice, I won't say anything more. Subai. Anyway, just protect yourself, and of course you can also protect your partners. With the help of god-level breathing techniques, even the weakest god-level breathing techniques, Yuka Nagata's strength can surpass that of Yuji Kiba and Kaoru Kaido. Therefore, she will have the strength to protect her partners in the future. In this case, let her take good care of her. After all, neither Kiba Yuji nor Kaido Kaoru are bad people. Even if Kiba Yuji turned evil in the original work, it was because he misunderstood that Yuka Nagata was killed by a human. Therefore, Yuka Nagata can be said to be the cause of his darkening. But as long as she is fine, there is a high probability that Kiba Yuji will not turn black and can continue to live. Nagata Yuka. I know, I will definitely protect them. Seeing that Yuka Nagata is not interested in becoming stronger and gaining points, the other group members felt a pity. But since this is their own decision, it's hard for them to say anything. Didn't you see that even the group leader didn't continue to persuade? This means that the group leader also thinks there is nothing wrong with Nagata Yuka's decision. Then of course they don't need to say anything more. Dagu and Xiao, who received Subai's guidance, also started to take action. One person is going to contact Amisho and ask him to help you. The other person is waiting for the appearance of aliens, waiting to exchange those alien spaceships, technology and the like into points, and he can also exchange monsters into points. After giving instructions to the new group members, Subai also quit the chat group and lay comfortably on a chair, planning to take a nap. But at this moment, a passage suddenly appeared in the sky. Then, a figure appeared from the passage. Seeing this figure, Subai narrowed his eyes slightly. Because he knew this figure. Whis and Vados also saw this figure, and they quickly came to this figure and saluted respectfully. Master Grand Priest backquote, that's right, this figure is Zeno's butler, Grand Priest. Also the father of Whis and Vados. However, they usually don't call Grand Priest their father, but call each other Lord God Priest. Grand Priest. Subai also came to Grand Priest. He looked at him very curiously, not knowing what he was doing. Could it be that Zeno is holding a tournament of power? No, probably not. You must be Subai-san. Grand Priest looked at Subai and said with a smile. The eyes he looked at Subai were also smiling and gentle. It can be said that Grand Priest's attitude towards Subai is quite good. Of course, Grand Priest is polite and well qualified even when he treats other people. But his attitude towards Subai is better than his attitude towards others. Subai thought about it for a moment and understood the reason. When Zeno went back before, he specially prepared some delicious food for both Zeno and Grand Priest. It must be because Grand Priest tasted the delicious food he prepared for him. In other words, he quickly conquered the two big guys, Zeno and Grand Priest, with his delicious food. Master Grand Priest, I am Subai. I wonder what happened when you came here this time. Subai asked very curiously. He didn't believe that Grand Priest came here for no reason this time. There must be something going on. Subai-san, Master Zeno invites you. Grand Priest stated his purpose. Zeno is looking for him. Hearing Grand Priest's words, Subai became even more curious. Why is Zeno looking for him? Does he want to play with him? It seems that this is not impossible. Okay, then I wonder if you can wait for me for a few minutes? Can I prepare a little bit? Okay, Subai-san, please. Subai nodded and disappeared. A few minutes later, he appeared again with nothing in his hand and looked as if he had gone to the toilet. But as gods of destruction, there is no need to go to the toilet. In fact, Subai used these few minutes to prepare some delicious food. By the way, I also prepared some things for him to pass the time. Although he didn't know what Zeno was looking for, whether he was looking for fun or something else. But since you are going to see Zeno, preparing something for Zeno will definitely make Zeno very happy. Of course, he didn't forget the Grand Priest's share. In terms of human relations and sophistication, he can be said to be very good at it. Now that Subai-san is ready, let's set off, Grand Priest said to Subai with a smile. Then left with Subai, Whis and Vados, and Trunks. Trunks is now Supreme Kai, and generally speaking, if something happens, such as Zeno looking for something, gods of destruction and Supreme Kai act together. So Grand Priest also brought Trunks with him. Of course, Grand Priest originally came to inform Subai that all he had to do to go to Zeno Temple was to ask Trunks to take Subai there. However, because of Subai's feeding, the Grand Priest was very satisfied with Subai, so he personally took Subai to the Zeno Temple. It can be said that Subai is the only god of destruction with such treatment. Arriving at Zeno Temple, Subai found that besides him, other gods of destruction had also arrived. It seems that this time, Zeno is not just looking for him, but all the gods of destruction. This made Subai even more curious. What on earth is Zeno going to do? Could it be that he brought all the gods of destruction to play games with him? The appearance of Subai also attracted the attention of all other gods of destruction. Since Zeno hasn't appeared yet, these gods of destruction can still relax and chat casually. Is that the new gods of destruction of the 7th universe? That should be it. I really didn't expect that the guy Beerus actually died, and the 7th universe room was replaced by gods of destruction. Yeah, if Champa hadn't said it, I wouldn't have believed it. Before Subai arrived, other gods of destruction had already learned from Champa about the death of Beerus and the replacement of gods of destruction in the 7th universe. So they were not surprised to see that the 7th universe was replaced by gods of destruction. However, this was their first time seeing Subai, so they were very curious. Tell me why Subai is followed by 2 angels. One is Angel Whis from the 7th universe, and the other one is Angel Vados from the 6th universe? Champa. No wonder you don't want to tell me why you changed angel. It turns out that Vados went to be with Subai. The other gods of destruction looked at Champa with weird smiles on their faces. They were very surprised when they saw that Champa had been replaced by Angel. Also asked Champa what was going on, but Champa never said the reason and kept making jokes. Now they know that it turned out to be because his angel went to be with the new gods of destruction in the 7th universe. And even if Champa didn't tell them, they would know that Vados must have left the 6th universe for the 7th universe on his own initiative. In other words, Champa was abandoned by his own angel. It's just that an angel can abandon the old gods of destruction he followed and follow a new gods of destruction. What is this new god of destruction Subai capable of? Could it be that Master Zeno summoned them this time to introduce Subai to them? Probably not. After all, for Master Zeno, changing gods of destruction is just a trivial matter. There is no need to make such a big move. Everyone, please wait a moment, Master Zeno will be here soon. Grand Priest spoke to all the gods of destruction and then disappeared. With Grand Priest and Zeno out of the way, the other gods of destruction are even more relaxed. They looked at Subai and talked about it, seeming to be discussing the new gods of destruction. And Subai was also looking at them. This was the first time he had seen all the gods of destruction. As in the original work, the gods of destruction in the first universe is a briquette-like creature named Iwne. The second universe's gods of destruction is the only female gods of destruction, named Hereth. Subai remembers that the second universe is a universe with some aesthetic problems. At least to him, the aesthetics of the second universe are problematic. The gods of destruction of the third universe is a tall green armor, but Subai knows that the true identity of the gods of destruction of the third universe is not this green armor, but the green armor he is driving. The gods of destruction in the fourth universe is an earth-yellow rat named Quitela. Maybe it's because cats and mice are natural enemies. So between Quitela and Beerus the relationship between them is not good and they will quarrel whenever they meet. However, don't underestimate the other person just because he looks like a little mouse. Quitela's strength ranks among the top among the gods of destruction. Although his overall strength is not as good as Beerus, he still defeated Beerus in an arm wrestling match. Moreover, I don't know if it's because Beerus has conflicts with him, which makes him hate Wujiwu and the gods of destruction in the 7th universe. Subai always felt that Quitela looked at him with some evil intentions. The gods of destruction from the 5th universe look a bit like aliens, pictured here is Eric. The gods of destruction of the 6th universe is Champa, but because Vados did not follow him, the angel behind him was replaced. The gods of destruction in the 8th universe is a 9-tailed fox named Liquir. The gods of destruction in Universe 9 are in the form of a little old man named Sidra. Gods of destruction from Universe 10 is a fan elephant, and it looks a bit cute. The gods of destruction in Universe 11 is a clown named Vermut. The gods of destruction in Universe 12 is a fishman named Jin. After looking at the other gods of destruction, Subai's eyes fell on the 2 angels behind them. They are Angelex from the 10th universe and Angel Margarita from the 11th universe. One of them is the image of a cute little loli, and the other is the image of a royal sister. When I watched anime before, although the 2 of them didn't appear many times, they didn't have many scenes. At the same time, I am also very curious as to why Vados chose to leave the 6th universe to follow Master Subai. But for Subai's appearance, even beings from different species would admire him for his handsomeness. There must be something extraordinary about this Master Subai. I have to say that the new gods of destruction of the 7th universe, although I don't know how strong he is, at least in terms of appearance, he is the strongest among all the gods of destruction. By then, he will no longer be the gods of destruction with double angels. Even though they are angels, they are not good at looks. After all, who can resist a cute Lolita and a mature lady? Seeing Subai looking at them, Kessie and Margarita also looked at Subai. But it still left a deep impression on Subai. At least it's pleasing to the eye. I wonder if there is a chance to bring Kessie and Margarita over. Even Subai had imagined before that what would happen if he became the gods of destruction and turned the 3 female angels, Vados, Kessie and Margarita, into his own angels. When Subai came in before, they had their eyes on each other. But gods of destruction with 4 angels, and now, when they saw Subai's eyes falling on them, they couldn't help but smile at Subai. It allows Vados to actively follow, becoming the only gods of destruction with dual angels to follow. Now Vados has become his own angel. Chapter 114 Gods of Destruction Selection of Time. New Mission, Universe C. Everyone, Lord Zeno has arrived not long after. Grand Priest appeared and spoke to the gods of destruction. Upon hearing Grand Priest's words, the other gods of destruction except Subai quickly bowed and waited for Zeno's arrival. And when they saw that Subai didn't choose to bow, they were all shocked. The new gods of destruction of the 7th universe are too bold. How dare they be so disrespectful to Lord Zeno? Could it be that this Subai still doesn't know how scary Lord Zeno is? It shouldn't be. Whis and Vados behind him will definitely tell him. In other words, he knows how scary Master Zeno is, but he is still so bold. This is simply killing yourself and the entire 7th universe. But unlike other gods of destruction who were surprised, Shaan was not surprised at all. When he saw the surprised expressions of the other gods of destruction, he curled his lips in disdain. These guys have never seen the world, not to mention that Subai is now Master Zeno's friend. Even when Subai met Master Zeno for the first time, he was not afraid and seemed very casual in front of Master Zeno. But Master Zeno just followed this trick. Not only did he not blame Subai, but he also became friends with him. Even Champa has thought about it. Why not learn from Subai's method? Maybe he can become friends with Zeno-sama. But after thinking about it, I still decided to forget it. Subai's success does not mean that he can also succeed. This is risking death for yourself and the entire 6th universe. If he fails, he and the 6th universe will disappear instantly. He doesn't dare to gamble. Soon, the other gods of destruction except Subai put away their previous expressions and replaced them with respectful expressions. Because Zeno has arrived. Subai. After Zeno arrived, he immediately landed on Subai without even looking at the other gods of destruction. Tien Fen shouted happily. Aquan. Subai waved to him and responded with a smile. And the greeting between the two made those gods of destruction who didn't know the situation almost be fooled. What happened? What did they just hear? Why do they seem to have heard that the newly promoted gods of destruction from the 7th universe actually called Master Zeno Aquan? Could it be that their ears are broken? How dare someone call Master Zeno that? Lord Zeno 543 wouldn't just wipe out this Subai and 7th universe in a fit of rage. But they soon discovered that Master Zeno not only did not do this, but even gave Subai a very high title. What's happening here? What is the relationship between this Subai and Master Zeno? Seeing the surprised expressions on the other gods of destruction, Champa felt proud. Now only he knows what the relationship between Master Zeno and Subai is. That's a friendship. Subai is Master Zeno's first friend. Aquan, I don't know what's the reason why you called us here this time. After greeting Zeno, Subai looked at him and asked curiously. Called all the gods of destruction over. If they weren't playing with him, then there must be something wrong. Subai, listen to me. I'm calling you all here this time. I really have something to tell you. Zeno said, looking at the other gods of destruction. Of course, when he looked at the other gods of destruction, his originally happy expression calmed down instantly, and his attitude towards Subai was completely different. I've called all you gods of destruction here this time for one thing. I have decided to choose one of you, the gods of destruction. Gods of destruction. Hearing Zeno's words, all the gods of destruction were shocked, even Subai was very surprised. This thing that only exists in legend actually exists? In addition to the Supreme Kai of the 12 universes, there is also a special Supreme Kai called the Supreme Kai of Time. The Supreme Kai of Time controls the nest of time and has the ability to travel through various time and space. Its mission is to maintain the peace of various time and space and eliminate those enemies that disrupt time and space. But there is no Supreme Kai of Time, but there is no gods of destruction of time. Originally, Subai thought that this was something that only existed in legends or among fans. I never thought it actually existed. Moreover, this time Zeno actually had to select a gods of destruction from among the 12 gods of destructions. You must know that the status of gods of destruction at this time is much higher than that of ordinary gods of destruction. It's just 5 days from now. Excuse me, Master Zeno, how do you select the gods of destruction? One of the gods of destruction asked. When the time comes, you 12 gods of destruction will fight against each other, and the one who wins in the end will become the gods of destruction of time. In other words, becoming the gods of destruction depends on strength. This is also normal. After learning about the selection method, some gods of destruction gave up immediately. For example, the weakest beings among the gods of destruction like Champa and Sidra. They know that they definitely have no hope of winning. So this time for the selection of gods of destruction, they're just accompanying them. But those powerful gods of destruction are different. They all have confidence in their own strength and feel that they can take the position of gods of destruction at this time. Especially since Beerus, the original strongest gods of destruction, is dead, their biggest threat is gone. As long as Beerus is still alive, Beerus will be their biggest threat. Even, they will give up directly like those weak gods of destruction. But now, since Beerus is dead and the gods of destruction of the 7th universe are just newcomers, how can they compare with these veteran gods of destruction? Although Vados can also follow, becoming the only gods of destruction with double angel following. But apart from Champa and gods of destruction, I don't think Subai can make any waves. No matter how good he is just a new gods of destruction after all. If they give him time to grow, then they believe that he will definitely grow into a very powerful gods of destruction. Not even worse than Beerus, but not impossible. But now there are only 5 days left before the selection of gods of destruction. In just 5 days, how can this Subai grow? Let alone 5 days, even if you give him 50,000 years or 500,000 years, there won't be much improvement. To them, Subai's threat is even worse than Champa, the weakest gods of destruction. Oh no, now Subai is the weakest gods of destruction. If it is the next gods of destruction, then Subai has a good chance of becoming the West. But in this first gods of destruction, Subai was just a companion. Of course, this is just the idea of the veteran gods of destruction, who believe that Subai poses no threat. As for Subai, he is very confident in his own strength. Although he doesn't know how strong the strongest gods of destruction is among the remaining gods of destruction. However, he now masters the super fifth transformation, and his strength is among the gods of destruction, so he can be ranked at the forefront. Of course, having never fought against those gods of destruction, he didn't know if he could win. But he probably won't lose either. So this time in the selection of gods of destruction, he is also very promising. After talking about the matter, all the gods of destruction were asked to retreat. Before Subai left, he took out the things he prepared for Zeno and Grand Priest and gave them to Zeno and Grand Priest. This also made them very happy, especially Grand Priest, who looked at Subai with even more satisfaction. While preparing things for Zeno-sama, he also did not forget to prepare things for himself. Yes, this Subai-sang's knowledge of human relations and sophistication can be said to be very good. After returning to the 7th universe, Subai also focused on the selection of the gods of destruction 5 days later. He was not worried about this selection. Of course, he would not make the mistake of underestimating the enemy. But he was still thinking about a question, and that was whether the battle between the gods of destruction that Zeno mentioned was a duel between two, or a big melee between the 12 gods of destruction. Of course, no matter what the situation is, there is no difference to him, that is, becoming the gods of destruction of time, and not becoming the gods of destruction of time. But he has god-level breathing techniques and Super 5 transformations. No matter what you say, you won't lose. Ding, release the group leader task. Task content. Defeat the other 11 gods of destruction and successfully become the gods of destruction of time. Task reward. 50 million points, a universe C. At this moment, the chat group released a task. Subai looked at the mission content and rewards. The mission content was to make him the gods of destruction of time. The rewards are also very generous, not only 50 million points, but also a universe ocean. What is the universe C? Subai also took a look. The so-called universe C refers to an energy gathering place like a vast ocean condensed by majestic energy. The function of the universe C is to support the growth of the universe tree. If the universe tree wants to grow, it needs an incomparable energy zone. In Dragon Ball Heroes, the universe tree is allowed to absorb the energy of 12 universes to grow the universe tree, but it only guarantees the supply of one universe tree. And the universe C is enough to support tens of thousands of universe trees at the same time. Of course, Subai does not have a universe tree, but he can definitely use the universe C to accelerate the creation of the universe in his body. At his current speed, he can transform one of his cells into a universe in a few days. But with the universe C, many complete universes can be created at once. The more universes there are, the more powerful he will naturally be. Points cannot improve his strength for the time being, because there is nothing in the current mall, even in the exclusive mall, that can improve his strength. But the universe C can give birth to a lot of universes in his body, thus improving his strength. It's a pity that universe is not available in the mall yet. Otherwise, he must use all the points in his hand to buy the universe C and accelerate the transformation of all his cells into universe. It seems that if we don't win the final victory this time, it will be impossible to become the gods of destruction of time. Originally, Yinbai just wanted to win the final victory. Now it gave him another sufficient reason. In the subsequent gods of destruction selection, he must win. Xingtian World. Xiao found in Mixayu's contact information and took the initiative to contact him. Soon, the phone call on the other side was connected. This also surprised Xiao, because he was already prepared for the other party not to answer the phone. After all, after sealing each other once, their original relationship as friends is probably not much left. You came to see me for something. On the other end of the phone, and Mixayu's voice sounded, with deep doubts in his tone. You must know that Xiao has not contacted him for a long time. Is there something wrong with contacting him this time? Let's find a place to meet. Asking the other party to fund your affairs cannot be explained clearly on the phone, and what if the other party hangs up the phone directly? So it's better to talk face to face. What's the matter with you? It's quite important. I can't explain it clearly on the phone. Let's meet somewhere. Good. And Amisho thought for a while and agreed. He was very curious about what important things Xiao wanted to tell him. The two set off after agreeing on a place. When they met and saw that the other party came alone, they were very emotional. They had worried before that whether the other party would come with their partners. But I didn't expect that the other party would come alone. This also made Xiao recognize Amisho a little more. If Amisho had any bad intentions towards him, he could bring other nether demons and then besiege him. And if the other party dares to come alone, he is not worried that he will bring Xiao and Xiaogang to besiege him. It can be seen that Amisho still trusts himself. This means that Amisho is indeed not that kind of cruel and ruthless ghost demon. He is still completely saved, so, what's wrong with you? Seeing Xiao, Amisho asked straight to the point. Do you want to go back to Ares? Or do you still want to live on Earth as an ordinary person? What did you say? Hearing Xiao's words, Amisho was stunned. The second option is fine, but what about the first option? What does he mean by whether he wants to return to Ares? It was as if he wanted to go back, the other party could help him go back. If you want to live on Earth as an ordinary person, then you can do that. If you want to go back to Ares, I can help you go back. But no matter which one you choose, I hope you can do me a favor. Do you a favor? What favor? Amisho didn't think about what Xiao said before, but was very curious about the help he said. I don't know what kind of help Xiao wants me to do. Later, Xiao told Amisho that he hoped to help him. You want me to use Ba Wang Group's financial resources to fund you? Why do you do this? Amisho was confused and didn't understand why Xiao did this. Do you want to be the owner of a bigger delivery company? Amisho also knew about Xiao's opening of the express company. So the only possibility he thought of was that Xiao wanted to become the boss of a larger express company. Otherwise, he couldn't understand why the other party wanted him to fund him.